Yeah, the folks online, can you hear us okay? Great, thank you.
Yes.
Excellent. All right. All right. So Linda, I think you're the only one that needs to turn your microphone off.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So I think we should go ahead and get started here. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and bring our city council meeting for Monday, April 28th, 2025 to order. Let's go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance. And then we'll do roll call after that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We need music? Okay, well, I'll let you work on that. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's do roll call here. Counselor Myers.
Here.
Counselor Cuthbertson.
Here.
Counselor Williams.
Here.
Counselor Lindner.
Here.
Counselor Ray.
Here.
And then we have Mr. Murray here as well. And he, thank you. Okay. Let's see here. We're going to start off now with public comments. Could I ask one of the counselors to read 2.1, please?
I'll go for it.
Thank you.
The public comment period is designed to gain input from the public. Public comment is not intended to be a dialogue between the council, staff, and any person making a comment. Any person who raises a question during public comment should rest assured that the city staff is making a note of your question, and the council and staff will work together to identify the appropriate city official to follow up with you directly.
Thank you. All right. Do we have any public comments this evening? This is your big chance. 3 minutes. Come up to the podium, introduce yourself. Tell us what's on your mind. Nobody? Are we sure? Okay, going once. Going twice. Okay, sold. 3. All right, we'll move on. No public comments this evening. We'll go ahead and dive right in. The sheriff, we have you online. Looks like you're outside.
I am.
Perhaps having fun. I don't know. I'm just hoping.
Like I said earlier in our communication, I'm on my way back from Eastern Oregon. My son had his last collegiate weekend playing baseball, so I didn't quite make it. So we found a really cool dog park in Wilsonville.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm at right now.
Okay, great. Thank you for joining us tonight.
I assume you all have the stats in front of you there. I can't see because I am working off my laptop here. But
Yes, we do.
You can see it was a pretty busy month as far as activities go in the community. While you're taking a look at that, I have some other stuff I'd like to report out to you as well. During the month, this last weekend, we wrapped up our Search and Rescue Academy. And the Search and Rescue Academy is a 9-week course, and it's every Thursday and Saturday. We had 15 members from Benton County and 9 members from Polk County participate. And they learn everything from how to start a fire to knot tying to they had the Black Hawk come in. I mean, you kind of name it. They cover the gamut.
Wow.
And then the last night, which was this last weekend, they do a 24-hour deal where they have to stay up all night long, build a fire. The fire, they have to care for the fire. And it kind of simulates caring for a patient overnight. So the fire can't go out. Everybody graduated. And over the course of the SAR Academy, there's about 35 or 40 folks that participate. And you got to remember, with the exception of Kevin Higgins and Johnavie, most of everybody else is a volunteer. So it's one of those deals where it kind of takes the village. And this was a huge success, and I couldn't be any happier about it. Secondly is emergency management. Brian Lee is the emergency manager for Benton County through the sheriff's office. And he's actually in 2024, he did receive Emergency Manager of the Year through both the Oregon Emergency Management Council and through Oregon State Sheriffs. But as the chairperson through the state sheriffs of emergency management, Brian Lee has instituted an incident management team, or an IMT. And it kind of is pretty timely. It was, he was thinking fires and big catastrophic events that relate to the valley. And they actually activated the IMT this in the last 2 weeks and went down to Harney County and helped with all the flooding down there. And Brian and the emergency managers that participated were instrumental in helping Harney County kind of just get back on their feet and stay afloat. And they work closely with the state of Oregon. So I'm pretty proud of Brian for that. And it's pretty cool. And again, he's your emergency manager. So I'm pretty excited for Brian. For the patrol division and I don't know, I know that I was going to try and get somebody down there from patrol. Is there anybody in the room from the patrol division?
Yes.
Who do we have down there?
Why don't you,
Deputy Savage.
why don't you go ahead and come on up here,
We
Deputy?
have Brig there. Okay, I didn't know if Brig was going to make it or not. I know that he.
Yep,
raised
he's
his
here.
hand.
I can have him come up to a microphone right now.
Okay, no, that's all right. I just wanted to let you know that for the patrol division, for the first time in my career as your sheriff, and I think probably in the first time in the career of the sheriff's office, patrol division is fully staffed.
Wow, nice.
We have 40 folks in patrol full time and 2 part-time folks. The 2 part-timers, one is a forest deputy, and Al Schermerhorn used to be a corporal, and now he works part-time as a forest deputy. And then we also have a part-timer that works Marine Patrol along with the full-time staff in Marine Patrol. So I'm pretty excited about that and just being staffed up finally. We've got 3 patrol dogs, 2 patrol dogs and a detection dog. We've got a full assortment of detectives now. I mean, it's pretty cool. And Brig, Deputy Savage there, he's a vital part of this. And so I'm just happy to have him on board. I'm happy to have everybody else on board. For the community of Monroe, I did do some number crunching and I took a look. And for calls for service, in 2022, we had 1,120 calls for service in Monroe. In 23, we had 897 calls for service. In 2024, we had 1,044. And through 2025, we've got 236 through March. So we're right there at about that 1,000 calls for service every year down in Monroe. And so I wanted to give you that information as well, just so you had it to know. And then lastly, in the jail division, we are in July 1 going to stop taking our adults in custody to Norcor, and we're going to start taking them to the hub in Salem, where they'll be picked up by Clatsop County, and then Clatsop County will then start housing them in their facility in Astoria or Warrenton, actually. And so there should be a pretty significant cost savings, both through the bed rental program and as it relates to deputies, usage of deputy time, vehicles. I mean, I think it's going to be a holistic savings, and I'll be able to give you some better numbers. I would hope about December, about halfway through the year, just so you have an idea of what those savings look like. And then, of course, First Responders Day. We worked with the mayor, and I think we've landed on a day, and we've already.
Yes, at last.
Captain Duffett has tapped the reserves and the Marine deputies and already got it on their radar. So I'm excited for that as well. So I appreciate everything that the city of Monroe has done for the sheriff's office, and I hope we're doing everything that you guys are hopeful as well. And so with that, I'll stop talking and see if you guys have any questions or follow up for me.
I have a question, Sheriff.
Mhm.
I remember a year and a half or 2 years ago, you and Commissioner Algero came down here and talked about a new jail that was being built.
Mhm.
What is that still underway, or what's the?
So
Okay.
the bond measure failed, and they were able to come up with monies, the county was, to build a new courthouse, and then I shouldn't say they came up with monies. There's quite a bit of grant money and federal monies and matching funds that are going in to a new courthouse. And then similarly with an emergency operations center, we're going to build a new EOC that will house search and rescue and emergency management at the compound, but at the complex. But we won't have a new jail. That did not pass. And so we've kind of gone back to the drawing board on that. And we of course need a new facility. Ours is old and outdated. And it because of that, and I think you guys recall, we weren't able to do certain things that we'd like to be able to do for the AICs and for the folks that are going to return to our community and our population. So we're still working on things, but it has slowed a bit just because the monies didn't come through. So there's no jail now, but I can tell you that I still rent 10 beds in Polk County, and I've kept those 10 beds full they're occupied ever since I was sworn in. That was the promise I made to the Board of Commissioners. And we're just going to figure out how many folks and what the cost savings will be when we go to Clatsop County.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions on what's on the report?
No, and
a lot of
I mean, I did hear a few
Mhm.
car alarms going off, but I couldn't locate where they were at. But it looks like some of these reports here are in the, in my area, so I think somebody was knocking on doors, of cars, setting them off, because it was like 3 or 4 alarms at once.
If I could make just a real quick comment.
Yeah, go for it.
So last month, we had talked about the like the citations and traffic stops and stuff like that. And I told you guys I would ask about using some of our like traffic grant funding. I think you'll see this month, the numbers are a little bit more, and that's because they have dedicated some of that grant funding specifically to the city of Monroe and us coming and doing overtime patrols here. And that looks like it's going to continue for a while. I'd pass that on to Captain Duffett and Lieutenant Bodorf, and they immediately jumped on it. And so, like I said, I think you are going to see a little bit more of a presence for us doing traffic stops. So
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, yeah.
And I am fairly certain I heard Lieutenant Bodorf down here early one morning running traffic.
yeah, he it looks like he did a school zone one because that was some of the concerns that they brought up. So.
Great, thank you very much. Have anything else for us? No? Okay, council, I'll ask you if you have any other questions. No?
I
Okay,
appreciate you guys.
Yes,
Doing
thank you.
yes, thank you very much. I know we need one of you guys to stick around a little longer.
If the sheriff's looks like he's in the middle of something, so I can stick around.
I will absolutely stick around. That's no problem whatsoever.
Okay, all right, we appreciate both of you
Yeah,
being
no
here.
problem.
Thank you.
You can flip a coin, right?
Right, okay. All right, Mr. Schultz, you want to come on up? You can talk to us about water and wastewater.
Mark was sitting up front. I figured he'd do all the talking. All right. I'll run through that real quick. So let's start on the wastewater side. So we are not in compliance yet, but the parts have been ordered, coming in by the time we shut off discharge.
Day after tomorrow.
Day after.
Well, we're shut down now, but legally day after tomorrow.
Right. So we won't discharge again until November. When we do, we will be fully back to where we should be before discharging, which we haven't been doing for quite some time. And a few other changes we've been making and process changes, along with Mark getting certified. So there's a backup, which is also required by the state. So that is looking very good on the wastewater side, that we can get back to being defensible on what we need to do. We have a lot of projects this summer that we will coordinate both cities with to get done. We need to do a lagoon leak test to make sure that the lagoons aren't leaching anything out because of their age. We also need to do another sludge depth survey. When the NPDES permit was redone a couple years ago, 2 years ago, they put an odd requirement in there that the sludge survey would be done every year on the ponds. So you might have seen in some of my communications with the state that they're going to look at that, because I point out that it's highly odd. Normally it's done in one permit cycle. Each permit's good for 5 years. The renewal is about 7 to 10 by the time they get them done. And ponds don't tend to build up sludge that way. And there's a lot of operational techniques that you can do that to reduce that sludge without actually having to dredge the ponds and land irrigate somewhere, which is a whole nother issue now with the introductions of the PFOS and PFAS forever chemicals that have now been included in CERCLA as hazardous chemicals, where that can settle out in the bottom of your ponds. Then you need to land apply this or get rid of it some other way. You cannot then, because of the PFAS being listed under CERCLA, you can't create a hazardous waste site by putting down a farmer's field like they used to do back when, which was just the way of doing it. And so, wait a minute, all you've done is move the problem. So
Right.
there are a lot of regulations being looked at federally, because the initial response by states was make the wastewater facilities have to deal with this. And the question is, well, this is in waterproof rain gear. They found it in household dust. They've, it's on law products that we've been living with for a long time. Why is the end user being required to deal with it and not the people who are manufacturing and sending it out? So there's a lot of fight against, where that's going anyway. And then we also need to do an outfall inspection, which we'll do that while we're doing the rest. It's just kind of part of our process during the summer to make it look good. So like I said, by the time we get all this done, which is a lot for small communities, by the end of the summer here, by September, we'll be right in line with the wastewater and with our permit.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you for everything you're
yes.
doing.
Now let's get to the water. Tried to lift you up a little. So
Very uplifting.
yeah. So as I mentioned, Mark, Monroe has been selected on the water side. It'll be testing for PFAS chemicals. The state will be in the source water to see what's dribbling down into the Long Tom and then down the river. And the state will come and do the initial sampling. This is happening for all small communities. It never used to be a requirement for cities under 3,300 people. And they decided to move forward and have all the small communities do it. Federal grant takes care of the first sampling and the initial repeat sampling. Told Mark, make sure he's there. I'll get that coordinated, lined up. When they go to do it, that way he can come back and do the repeat sample. It comes 6 months later, and make sure he follows their procedures. We've already went through in Harrisburg by having different people do it who didn't follow the procedures. We ended up taking it 5 times because it wasn't quite exactly documented the way they wanted it done, even though it reported none found. Anyway, but that was pretty eye-opening to how picky this needs to be. But we were on wells, so I thought it was odd that Harrisburg got selected in that last round anyway, especially with how deep our wells are. So I'll give you the paperwork on that so you can.
Where are the sampling points at, if you don't mind me asking?
This sampling point will be a raw sampling point, so it'll be right before it enters the treatment plant.
Right there, that structure that sits out over the river.
Okay.
And depending on when the intake is doing its job, we'll work around that as we need to with the sampler when he's coming down to do that for the state. Trying to organize this for here to go well. A whole bunch of stuff in just today, so it's,
Okay.
So we've been doing a lot, and I don't know what's in your packet or what was shared with you, but we did get all the programming done at the water side
Yay.
that the state required in this humongous long, you guys are doing this all wrong, stop doing that. And
Of course.
And Mark's done an excellent job of getting more familiar and being able to make those judgmental decisions that need to be made rather than just following along like the puppy dog that he was kind of, it's kind of where the position he was put in. So he was, he knew how to do that task, but not what was recognizing
Mhm.
what was
Right.
creating this. So
Right.
he's doing real well doing that. But anyway, the sets and the ranges and everything got in. We sent pictures and all the documentation into the state. And March 31st, I don't know if this was shared with you either. The letter came to me, dear Chuck. Our office received confirmation the above project was completed, the membrane molecule replacement for the systems. And the conditions have now been met for the project that was done on December 8th, 2022. Just by getting it programmed and putting all that in. And I love this next line. This verification completes the plan review requirements and the final approval is issued at this time and the facility is now approved for use. So
Woo!
we can now turn it on, make water.
Oh, no.
Nice, thank you. Officially.
Legally.
I really like that the state's paying that much
Congratulations,
attention.
boy. Okay, great.
This last month, we also submitted the last 5 years of the cross connection backflow annual report that had not been done.
Mhm.
So we got all those in, and oddly enough, I have not heard a single word back from,
That's a good thing, right?
I'm not sure. There was only one person doing that, and I see that as of last year, that's not, that person's no longer in that role. I don't know if it's been filled, but I have the responses back from the state that, yes, we have received these.
Okay, that's
Okay.
good.
Okay,
Great.
so it's all in, plus this year's, so
Thank you.
we're back on time for that. We just did the consumer confidence report
Mhm.
and sent that out. It was posted on the city's website. I'm pretty sure I think we shocked the compliance, our compliance officer, who really does not like Monroe. There's just no way around it. He's just been given the middle finger by Monroe long enough that that's the way he feels.
For more than the last 5 years or just the last 5 years, do you feel?
The last 5 years.
Got it.
or so. So, and well, he hasn't been on for all 5 years, so,
Okay.
but he's been on.
He's inherited, I'm sure,
Yeah,
some things.
And so it's only been required for these CCRs to be out to the public in the last 20, 25 years. I can't recall. And I've never, ever seen, ever, even with all the cities that I've DRC'd or ran, a compliance officer correct it or make a suggestion for a correction. That's just a little wording switch. That's how much he is paying attention to every single
Wow.
thing Monroe does.
Wow.
That's not good.
No,
It's
we're under a
not.
Not to be
They
under the
really don't want to
microscope.
be on that radar that
Yeah.
bad, what Monroe is. We made a quick change, got it to Dawn, got it changed, got it reposted, send back another copy, send a copy up to the state. And they also said, yes, okay, we got it now. And so one more thing done before the due date in May, which has to be some brownie points somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
I should hope so.
We can claim it, whether it holds true or not, I don't know. But that's a real good thing, that we're moving along. Mentioned Harney County and the issues they have. This council's probably unaware, because I've been doing it about 8 years. Or 3 city administrators. I am the 811 Lynn Benton Utility Coordinating Council Standards Chair, and I represent Harrisburg and Monroe at those meetings, along with the local emergency planning committee that I'm also on, representing Monroe and Harrisburg for a long time now.
Thank you.
So any information that comes up from those meetings, I've passed along Whether you got there or not, I have no idea.
Probably not, but thank you for
Yeah.
letting us know.
Most of them, for instance, the local emergency planning, we understand. And most people who are involved in emergency planning understands that the immediate reaction, and the general public doesn't understand this, but the immediate reaction and initial steps come local. And I mean immediately local. Because we're the ones here. And then you're gonna get some county and eventually some state. FEMA will show up in a year or two or whenever they feel like it. I mean, it's really, they expect everybody else to show up first, but that's not how it works. So that's why we have these local committees made up of the towns and those who have the means and the equipment, and we have signed documentation with other cities to work together. If we have an instant, kind of like they did in Harney County, they put out the emergency notice to all the cities that are listed in the state and said, hey, we need this. We need, I think they called for 4 dump trucks and drivers and whatever. And cities responded. And that's how we go back and forth on that. Water municipalities, we have the same setup. We have the same setup with ODOT, with all these cities involved. If there is an emergency, small cities like us are not on our own. We have ways to call in help and it can get there pretty quick.
That's great.
So it's not something to keep you up at night, keeps me up at night because I'm always working those what if scenarios. The foreman that I have hired who's working for me now, who worked for me a long time, actually went over to Burns and Harney County and worked for them for a few years. And he came back, he came over here and I rehired him as my foreman. And he was the foreman over there about 9 months. So there because of the flooding issues and they discussed that and it was pretty open and they didn't take some actions, but just looking at how bad it was there with the flooding and the potentials, because like their city wells are not chlorinated and they were all underwater. If they have any surface water leaking, any intrusion, they have bigger issues than they can handle themselves. When the county seat is only twice as big as Monroe. I mean, there's only 1,900 people there. So it's, and they called in that help and it's always available. And people can get out there and chase down, offer up when they're not having an issue. So I think that's about it, other than we really need to set up either a special council meeting or an ad hoc committee. We have to make some decisions on this treatment plan.
Okay.
We
How
have-
soon?
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, that's where it got fallen off when it came back and the state said there was money and then, the document had to be signed and turned in and approved by the council. That just didn't go that way.
Did it come to council at any point?
I have no idea.
I don't.
I don't,
Doesn't,
I
it
don't
doesn't
think
sound
it-
familiar.
I think
so-
it's,
I have no idea. I don't have access to the city computers, no one. So
Next
no
week?
matter what, whether the
let's do it.
Next week? Okay.
yeah, and that's definitely possible. On some days.
Later
Matt-
this week, maybe? You want to go as soon as later this week?
I don't have much time this week.
Okay.
I got a lot of meetings this week.
And I need to do digging to find all the paperwork and make sure that I have
True.
anything he
That
might
take you a
need.
month.
And we have some,
We know.
and we have some emails back from the engineer who was working on it,
Right.
saying this is what was sent back to the city in 2023. I need to answer these 4 questions to move on.
Okay,
Okay.
It doesn't really matter what's happened on the funding side. The
Mm.
partial funding that they said that we could get from our resources that was set aside in the state's budget biennium, which they said they may be able to move on into the next budget. But with the way budgeting works, it doesn't
Mhm.
always work that way. It doesn't matter. We still
Mhm.
have to address the water treatment plant.
Mhm.
It is in violation.
Right.
We can't wait until some grant magically says, yes, you must do this now. No, really nasty decisions need to be made on how this is gonna move forward. And nobody's gonna like it. And unfortunately, it's gonna be twice as bad than it should have been if it was just handled 2 years ago. So, yeah, that's where we're at on the water side. Plant wise, crew's doing a great job. Like I said, Mark's picking up a whole lot of stuff. We talked about the last meeting, how we only had one effluent, we only had one waste pump, those are all working. We need to work on our screening system. I'll probably be over probably tomorrow. It's the only day I have this week. And we'll make the list for this month of stuff we need to work on in the plant and
Okay.
keep moving forward on that. The stuff that we can handle together and getting some of that done.
Thanks for giving Mark more opportunity to develop and have discretion.
Oh, he's gonna be one of the tops and.
Ah, nice.
Glad we got him.
I was at a conference recently and I was given a class. And somewhere along the way, even though I still have a long ways to retirement, I became like the old guy in the class. And I've been doing this so long and giving certain classes now, I'm like, wait a minute, this is not the career choice I had actually picked. And all of a sudden now I'm the one people were asking and we were talking afterwards with some of the other instructors from OAWU and the AWWA and the APWA, all over, that there's, a good third of the operators in the state that have sat through my classes that I've worked to help get certified. And so, yeah, it's just, it's a little mind boggling when I look at these young guys going, geez, where did this, how this go? But that's the way it is. And Mark has all the potential to do it. Mark is right up there with one of the, some of the better dedicated employees I've seen to their employer that you don't usually find. And no matter how much money I keep throwing at him, he doesn't want to come over and work for me. He wants to stay
Yes.
here.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Mark.
He-
Might be able to loan him, but.
he does a great job, an absolute great job. So. And unless there's other questions.
There is, at one point, there was something, you have to just bear with me because I was just writing notes with the panel in the water plant and we needed an electrical engineer that did that get handled?
Yes.
Yes.
You guys are amazing. Okay, and also,
Mark did the perfect thing. We got an electrician, come in there, threw all the breakers, turned it back on, everything works fine. So,
perfect. Also, there was an issue, and I think it has to do with some of the funding coming up and stuff where we needed to have an engineer of record. Is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Oh, and that's on there, so never mind.
on the agenda.
I'll shut up.
Yep.
Go ahead. You're done. Thank you. You're amazing.
Well, can we talk about when that next meeting is gonna occur? Since you're here, Chuck, that ad hoc meeting or whatever.
However you guys want to set that up.
Well, it's a meeting where you want us to make decisions. So it has to be a special city council meeting, it sounds like.
I would think I would think to avoid having multiple meetings, and that's my personal thought on having all the committees that small towns tend to have too many of those and too many ad hoc. So in small cities, the entire city council needs to know what's going on, be able to make a choice on them. And I think it should be a work session.
Yep.
To give an idea of, we need to respond back to the engineers that we're working on that and get them to work with the city of record because they will actually check this outside engineer's work to make sure it meets one of these piles, these regulations
Right.
that the state's requiring.
Are there any days the first week of May that would not work for you? Or anybody here in the room? I know you don't have your calendar in front of you, so it's probably hard to tell.
Thursday is out.
Okay.
That would be the
Thursday, The 8th, we're having all the high school come down to our new park and we're going to put in trails and everything else. So-
Okay.
So on the 8th, I am not available.
Okay.
And
I will be driving a backhoe most of that day.
that's a difficult week for me. So the earlier in the week, the better.
Same, I can't do that week.
I think
Work
we're
Session on the 12th anyways.
We
We
do.
do.
out further though.
Yeah, we have a work session.
Yeah, but that's also the, I think we also have the budget public hearing there too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2 meetings. that day.
I mean, hopefully to stick around a little bit longer. We can do it then. There's also the 13th. I don't know if that works for anybody or not.
Not for me.
Okay.
That's the 14th.
Okay.
I'm already booked.
Okay, no, that's fine. 19th. The Monday.
19th.
Can do that.
What about you, Chuck?
Mm,
I don't know. I think that's my budget meeting.
Okay,
Just offhand, I don't have my calendar.
right.
I am back.
I'm kind of old school. I use big paper calendars.
Do you want to maybe look around there and send us a couple choices and then you want to email
Yeah.
them out?
Yeah,
I think
that's
that might
fine.
be our
That's totally
best
fine.
thing.
We'll sync up.
I know I said it, shut up, I lied. I have one more thing.
It's fine.
Were we planning on still doing a walkthrough on the 30th?
Well,
That's
we had it on
Wednesday,
the
right?
calendar.
Mhm.
Chuck, are you still available on the 30th or are you
Yeah,
about, you're
That's Wednesday night, right?
Yep.
correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry. Now
Yeah,
I promise
will
I'm
be
done.
back from Salem, so yes. I can-
Okay, it's at 6
Was it the
o'clock.
28th?
30th.
30th,
Wednesday.
this week.
Oh, this week.
Couple of
Okay. Yep,
days,
I'm
yeah.
looking in May. Ooh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I'm looking at May too, because I'm like taking the last 3 weeks off in May. And I'm like,
Oh.
I don't know. Let's see
Nice. I
where-
hope you're going somewhere good.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. Might be taking a road, just loading the suitcase and drive.
Mark,
until
are
I
you
get
gonna be
done
around on
driving.
the 30th?
I can be there.
Okay.
I'm on PTO today and tomorrow and I'm working both days here.
Getting comp days out of it?
Figure.
So what this is for is because with the amount of money that needs to be spent, it's much easier to correlate something when you've seen it,
Mhm.
to understand
Absolutely.
why we're doing it,
Mhm.
rather than just, this is what needs to be done.
Yeah,
So,
6 o'clock on.
Correct,
Yeah.
at the water plant. Be
Yeah,
there,
it's
be
hard to
square.
Make a decision in a meeting without having all that backup.
Yeah.
Information.
And then Chuck, do you need any other paperwork for before we have that meeting that I might be able to find that you want me to look for?
no, I think I don't think so.
Okay,
We have a rough outline from the engineer of what was planned.
okay.
I have some concerns over what was planned, based on that engineer, or that firm. But and mainly because a lot of that was a very platinum package.
Mhm.
That's not what we need.
Right.
Okay,
We need a regulatory package,
Mhm.
to get through this. I mean,
Right.
so, and having an engineer of record will help do that because they will be able to look at that set of plans with some value engineering and go, okay, yeah, that's nice, but this is not what we need spec'd out here. We can
Mhm.
use these other alternative ways to do it that still work, but they don't have the Denali package
Mhm.
stamp on the side of it.
Right.
Now, is some of this going to be kind of incorporated when they do the levee removal or, I mean, is it gonna,
No, totally separate.
okay,
So the
Mhm.
intake is being done.
separate? But I was kind of going, well, the reason why I asked, I was kind of going through reading his stuff today on that. And I noticed they said they were going to plan on putting some new variable frequency drive motors in. So that's why I was curious, because I know that probably do some electrical in the,
Yeah, on the, like for VFDs on the
Yeah.
intake.
so they'll have to probably put in some buses or something for the VFDs. And so that's why I was wondering if they were going to incorporate some of that with our electrical work that we might need in our
So,
building, so. 'Cause those take a special drive, so obviously
yes, absolutely. And,
they're not cheap.
without seeing the specifications on that, whether they're really talking
Mhm.
VFDs or a soft start or what they're talking,
Yeah.
because a VFD on an intake just doesn't make a whole lot
Yeah.
of massive sense.
That's like I said,
Yeah,
I was
but-
reading it, it said they were gonna do it VFDs, but yeah, you can always put a soft start on your buses or your,
Yeah,
you know.
it seems like an overkill, but
I'm not sure where they were going that route, but
Yeah, me neither, but a separate project that
Yep.
I'm not.
yeah, and that's why I was
You're
wanting to make
doing
sure
an
it's not
intake,
going to
that's fine.
interfere or if maybe it would help or I don't know.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah,
project.
I
What,
think
what we
separate.
need to make sure is,
Are
the
we
plan.
having problems with couplings or spikes in amperage on the motors? I mean, what would be the reason for the soft start or the VFD?
Don't know why he's got it on there, but that's.
Yeah, if you really want me to come up with something, I'm sure I
No,
could throw something
I
out
used to
there.
engineer those, is why I was asking.
It depends on how big a pumps you're dealing with too, I guess, too. So
It's like,
You wouldn't have an initial water hammer into the system,
well, that would be part of it, yes.
mhm.
but a clay valve can do the same thing and modify it and stop that. Yeah, I don't understand, but
Any expansion joints built into that system at all? Piping expansion joints?
I haven't seen any plans. I've only read an overview of what they're doing on an intake.
Because that'll take some of the hammer out too, if you put a bellows type expansion joint.
To a certain extent,
Yeah,
I've seen them
some
go.
of But if we stayed with a membrane, it wouldn't really matter on the membrane anyway.
Yeah.
So, because we're not looking at pressure filter. So it's an open top system, which you'll see if you haven't seen it.
I haven't, no.
Yeah, but I mean, we could do electrical soft starts or mechanical soft starts either way if we really need to do it.
I was just curious because I was reading some of the paperwork
Yeah.
today on it. So
Again, this is all what we need to break down and have an idea of where we're going.
Mhm.
That way we can feed the information back to the engineer that was hired. And then, again, with an engineer of record, we can have them do the value engineering on that
Mhm.
moving forward. And then give us other suggestions. We see this, and this as ways to make this work without.
Yeah.
So.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Yeah. those are
Thanks.
cost evaluations.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give the City of Monroe report. So I'm gonna read it because I typed it up, so just letting you guys know what's been going on, and there's been a lot. Exciting on April 1st, no fooling. The council approved the 2.5% COLA for all city employees. It was retroactive to January 1st. That went into effect. Also, the council had approved temporary and permanent pay increases for the city employees that were retroactive to March 3rd. Those also went into effect. The Finance and Personnel Committee has asked city staff to track their daily tasks and how much time they spend, just to get an idea of what all is being accomplished now that we don't have a city administrator. As far as we can tell, and Mark and Don can correct me if I'm wrong here, it looks like you guys are spending roughly 8 to 10 hours a week on additional tasks that you weren't doing before, roughly.
It really depends on the week. I know for myself, I think it was a week after the budget meeting, I spent a ton of time doing things I wouldn't normally do. Otherwise, I don't count everything either. So for example, I
Right.
prepared a packet for tonight, but even though that's not something I typically do, it didn't take long enough to really justify counting it. But there was one week where it was 13 hours, and this week I only anticipate working 3 or 4 hours.
Okay. It's kind of fluctuating for you.
It kind of averages out
Yeah.
around 8 to 9 hours total per week,
Okay.
I'm not the greatest with logging all of that, to be honest with you, but I very don't.
Okay.
It just varies.
Okay, let's get the microphone pointed a little closer to you so we can hear you.
Do that.
I'm getting complaints that we can't hear you on the recording.
much.
Not yet. Okay, so later on in this meeting, the council will consider a recommendation from the Finance and Personnel Committee to make one more adjustment with regard to utility one workers' pay. There was a discrepancy between the job post and the offer letter. We want to get that corrected. And then I wanted to congratulate Chuck Cross. Tomorrow is his 6-month probationary period will conclude, and then he'll be free and clear. So I want to congratulate him on that. That's a wonderful accomplishment. With regard to water and wastewater, I mean, we just got done talking with Chuck, so we have a pretty good idea what's going on there for the most part. On April 4th, I worked with the city attorney and I signed a settlement agreement with DEQ. This was for the lack of reporting over, I believe it was a 2-year period, maybe it was longer, with the DEQ. And this was something the former city administrator did not do, hence the reason why we got fined for it. The fine was originally $6,300. DEQ reduced it to $4,800. I signed the agreement and DEQ instructed the city to pay the fine by May 5th. On the 14th of April, Councilor Cuthbertson and I signed the check for that fine, penalty, whatever we're going to call it, and that check has been sent off to DEQ. Chuck already talked about the water consumer confidence report. That was an interesting experience. That was interesting trying to track down. We had to translate it. And so I had a tool that I could use that made that happen fairly quickly. And it was very exciting to get this in before the deadline. So shocking them, I like that. We can keep.
I would suggest that we look at revamping that.
Yes, please.
That's 9 pages.
It was a lot.
I'm not sure where all that information previously been copied from.
Right.
What city? Mine's front and back on one page.
Yeah, I don't see the reason why we need to have all the paper, to be honest.
We should borrow Chuck's.
Yes, absolutely agree with that. So I'm 100% on board with that. And then Chuck has touched on the engineer of record. So Chuck, you've talked with Branch Engineering and they're willing to do a contract extension. We did have an agreement with them that expired some time ago. So it's exciting that they're willing to circle back with us and do a contract extension. I signed the agreement on Friday. I think we need to get that over to the city attorney and have her sign it. And then go ahead and get it back to you, sir. Yes, okay.
I'll submit it. So as the attorney signs it, we get it back.
Okay.
and They'll be in place.
Okay.
On May 1st.
Okay.
Before that.
Okay, I will make sure. Okay, I'll make sure the city attorney gets it and signs it as soon as possible.
Mayor Dan and
Yes.
Chuck, I do have a question on that. So I did
Yeah.
sign, you kind of suggested that maybe only one council member sign it. So I did sign it as a city representative. Now, Chuck, do you feel that that's going to be an issue?
That is a no.
Okay, good.
All right, cool, thank you. Let's see here, moving on to like the planning commission and land use planning. We actually had a planning commission work session on April 8th. Planning commission was there. Our new city planner, Michael Bidwell, was there. The city manager for Philomath, Chris Workman, was there. Mark was there. Our DLCD specialist, Patrick Wingard, was there. We had several guests and developers that were there as well. I thought it was a really good meeting. We talked about all the developments that are going on. There are currently 11 planning projects in various stages right now. So you can see why it's a little bit crazy and I'm pulling my hair out. So I'm very happy that we're able to sign that agreement with Philomath. Michael's been out sick, so hopefully we'll get to see him here. Hopefully he's getting well and we'll get to see him soon to continue moving forward and making progress there. Tonight, later on in the agenda, I'm going to ask if possibly doing a technical grant via DLCD to help the city with development code. Our development code is out of date. I think we need to also consider proposed amendments that were in the Riverside District Master Plan. I don't believe that those got rolled into our development code, and I believe that we need some help, and I think the technical grant could be useful. So I wanted to chat a little bit about that. We also need to look at our fee schedule as well as forms and applications. We are missing some. We need to update some, and we need to look at fees. Because we need to be, for any of our planning fees, in my opinion, if we have a fee, we need to be able to charge for and cover our costs.
Didn't we just create a fee schedule last year and a bunch of forms?
We did, but I don't know that the planning fees are on it or,
Right.
Oh,
and I don't even know if they're even up to date. So we need to take a look. Yeah, I had a feeling.
We shouldn't be, it's not up to us to pay those fees. And so as a city, we need to, we
Yeah.
gotta stop that.
Yeah.
Yep, agreed. Moving on to the library, we were all here on April 14th when the council held a public hearing on the deposition of the Monroe Community Library. And we discussed transition of the ownership of the library from the city to SBCEA. After that public hearing, all the councilors did vote to transition the ownership of the library. I went ahead with Roger Irvin, who's the SBCEA president, on the next day, which was April 15th, and signed the quick claim deed. And Dawn was the notary on that, so she was present for that. Unfortunately, minor little detail, that quick claim deed, the partition plat number was slightly incorrect.
No.
So Benton County, they pushed it back to us and we corrected it, and I signed an updated quick claim deed. This was on the 23rd of this month. So that's fixed now. So, never a dull moment, I swear. I've been invited to the library for an event on May 17th. Regarding, this is celebrating the library's transition in this new beginning with the building and all of that. So I've invited to that. I'll go to that as well.
Sorry, what are the details with that? I'd like to attend that if possible.
No, there is a Facebook event,
Okay,
and I don't have a lot of details.
okay,
I was just invited, but
okay,
anybody in the room can go. I think anybody at public can go too. So
cool. Thank
I'm
you. I'll check
hoping they
Facebook.
won't make me speak or something. So we'll see.
Got it.
IT and the website. So on March 28th, so Dave, we call him Dave, the IT guy. He discovered that our shared drive, which stores all of our city documentation, including everything that both Don and Gabi need to do their jobs on a daily basis, stopped working. The motor had burned out on the device. All the documentation was successfully recovered from the device. I went ahead and I authorized Dave to purchase a new network attached storage device, shared drive, if you will. It has a mirror drive with it, so we can avoid this problem again of the drive going down or the motor burning out. We have a mirror drive, a backup basically. So he was able to successfully install it, restore the files, get the security on it by probably about April 9th. I know during the same time frame, Mark, you were having problems with the system over at the water treatment plant. I don't know if
It was just a bad router.
okay, so that was resolved, correct?
Result.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's like, I swear, these things all happen at the same time in a cluster. So then on April 21st, Dave and I discussed very slow internet speeds at City Hall and the Public Works shop. I mean, we're talking, I think I could probably walk home faster than the speeds at City Hall. So he looked into the hardware security appliance that was at City Hall, and he found that that appliance was 13 years old and it's no longer supported by Cisco. Dave also did some more research and found the appliance could be part of the slow internet speed issue. So I authorized Dave to purchase a new hardware security appliance and a Wi-Fi router. And so yesterday, I let him into City Hall and he worked the afternoon, installed the new appliance and the router. The speeds are much faster now at City Hall. He did recommend that we talk to Monroe Telephone Company because it seemed like there was still a limitation of the signal coming in to City Hall. Dawn actually talked to Monroe Tel today, and speeds are significantly much better there now. So
Increased.
We went from 50. Go ahead, Brian.
No, go ahead, Don. I was pulling up the email you sent earlier.
I think you were looking
Oh,
at,
wow. We went from 50 download and 10 upload to 250 something download, and I want to say it was 100 something upload. So way more.
yeah, download speed was 5 to 6 times faster now. Upload speed is 8 to 9 times faster than before. So that's huge. The website, I will admit, it's kind of fallen down the list of priorities, and I apologize, but there have been so many other fires to put out and deal with. I'll push it back up. We're having a little bit of an issue with GoDaddy right now, which anyway, we will work with them, and the website consultant will work together and we'll get it figured out. And so we can get this thing moved to the new website as soon as possible. So I'll keep you guys informed of that. Let's see here, on April 7th, Mark was there for that lovely event. The former CA came by and he picked up all of his personal items from City Hall. I had the former CA sign an inventory list of all the personal items that he took home, including his desk. In addition, the former CA paid for personal charges on the city credit card. He asked me to sign a Medicare document to confirm his employment hours with the city. Also, we reminded the former CA to cash his final check. Don, has he cashed his final check yet?
No, he has not as of today that I have seen. I
Okay.
check the bank every day, so.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I don't know what's going on there. I leave it at that. On April 17th, Gabi submitted her resignation. I was sad to receive it, but I understood why and I accepted it. Her last day is actually April 30th. And then later in this meeting, we'll also discuss Finance and Personnel Committee's recommendations to move forward with hiring, interviewing and hiring people. We have a couple gaps now. We need to move forward and deal with it. And then just so you all know, I am continuing to approve paperwork at City Hall, fund transfers, PO requests, overtime, payroll adjustments. I go in almost every day to sign paperwork and just to make sure everybody's okay. Or if they need to talk to me, you can talk to me too. I don't bite for the most part. I am making some decisions, but anything that's big that has a huge impact on the budget and time and availability of city staff, I make sure to bring those to you. So the city council. Lastly, I've got the city attorney work. So the Charter Spectrum franchise agreement that is in progress. We have a draft agreement right now that myself and I don't know who at city staff, it's an internal document at this point. We were instructed not to share it publicly or with the council quite yet. So we need to discuss it, see the terms of it, ask any questions, provide any input with the attorney, and then we can finalize that and then I can bring it to you and have you look at it. I'm going to have the attorney also, I did mention this to her last month, the property at 180 North 8th Street. We're going to have to get legal on it, I'm afraid. That property needs to be condemned. And I did not realize there is an outstanding water bill on it for $2,700.
This is the one over that has, it's the old decrepit house that people were like digging
Yes.
around in looking for a historic book or
Yes,
something.
correct.
Okay.
I had no idea that there was an outstanding water bill balance on it. Don showed it to me last week. So we need to get this squared away. So
We need to get a lien on it then.
probably, but I need to see, the ownership of the house is in question and it has been for a long time.
Yeah.
So we got to sort that piece out
The
before we
name on
can.
the deed, the lady that owns it passed
She's-
away in the 90s, left it with her son. He passed away in the early 2000s. He left it with a spouse. She passed away a year or two ago and now nobody knows.
No idea
There was
where,
a gentleman who thought he owned it because he paid off back taxes and that was a whole event, but
right?
Yeah, that doesn't do it.
Yeah, not quite. So yeah, we need to get that sorted out. So let's
It just keeps the tax man away.
The only other thing I have on here is I'm hoping amongst all of this angst that we can plan something fun, like a barbecue or something.
Yes, please.
That was great.
So that's it for the city report. Sorry it was so long, but there's been a lot going on.
If we have a barbecue, Mr. Murray needs to bring the puppy.
I'll bring him.
Okay.
I'll bring him. He's not a puppy anymore. He went to the vet today. He's 117 pounds.
Yeah, he's a big
not a
puppy
puppy
now.
unless it's a Corso.
I get in trouble for my dogs getting too fat.
All right, we're gonna move on to the consent agenda. So the following items are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. If any item involves a potential conflict of interest, council members should so note before adoption of the consent agenda. A motion to accept the consent agenda is appropriate. So that should be in your packet for you.
And there was additional stuff, those bills that you just paid. Is that part of it too?
We need to ask Dawn that. Dawn, you've got a lot of interesting things for me here.
So there should be 4 separate APs that were kind of thrown in after I had done our AP reporting. The ones you had signed off on. So
Oh,
that's
yep, I see there's 5.
I'm disclosing this to you so you know everything that we have
Right.
now.
Yep.
Included in the original reports. That's what those are.
Okay, got it.
One that I have that isn't signed.
That was one we got today, and Mayor Dan was
Oh.
not able to make it in this afternoon to sign it before I included it in the packet, but it's still going to be paid with this round. So
Yeah,
Okay.
this is for the contract planner from Philomath.
yeah,
So, yeah, I didn't get.
I do make
didn't
sure
get
all
very
my APs are signed though before the checks go out. So that will be standard procedure on my end.
We'll put a demerit against Dan.
I was going to the pharmacy to get a prescription for my daughter. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Whatever.
What is the bank analysis? Is that something we typically do, or is that something we had to do extra?
So the bank analysis, which document are you looking at?
It's
Back and I seen
Oh,
it in
yeah,
there
it's in
too.
here.
It's like for the APs.
Yeah, number 4.
Oh, I see.
Curious about it. So
So
So the APs paid, APs outstanding, the treasurer's report, and then kind of a preliminary view of what payroll will look like.
So Counselor Cuthbertson had a question about the AP, I guess, here that's bank analysis activity for 3/20/25.
Oh, that's every month. That's just a standard UMQA fee that's charged each month.
Oh, okay,
Thank
gotcha.
you.
It's actually on
Perfect.
the resolution that was passed for some of the ACH payments that happen every month.
Oh,
Right.
okay,
Okay,
gotcha.
gotcha. That makes more sense. now.
Okay. Now we go. Okay, so there's that. Yep, there's the treasurer's report. Okay. Okay.
And the amount you see for Hawk is the part that we needed for the wastewater treatment plant, I believe.
You're talking about the negative available balance?
No, so the Hawk invoice that you see on the AP, just because
Oh,
it's
the Hawk
you
invoice.
typically see HACH is how it's spelled. That's I think around $11,000. Just so you're not shocked when you see that one on there.
I have a feeling Chuck will be shocking us with more stuff later, so I'm guessing.
Okay.
Right. There's the minutes. Okay, and you all have minutes as well in your packets, making sure. No?
They should have them. They're I think 11 pages long.
Yeah, I know. I remember reading them. You got them. Okay, good. If you don't, I've got a copy.
Yeah, I don't.
Very
Okay.
back. It's pretty much the back.
Generally in the back.
Oh, it
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Okay.
Apologies, sorry.
No, you're fine. Better to ask. I'm willing to share. It's okay. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready to hear
I'll make a
entertain.
motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Anybody like to second that?
I'll second.
Great, thank you. Let me know when you guys are ready. And we'll vote.
I'm good.
Cool. Counselor Guthrie, you ready? Counselor Lindner, you ready? Okay. Counselor Williams? Okay. I'm getting nods from everybody else. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and vote. Counselor Ray,
Yes.
Counselor Lindner.
I wasn't here for this meeting and you guys have a quorum, so I'm just gonna abstain.
Okay, that's fine. Counselor Williams.
Yes.
Counselor Cuthbertson.
Yes.
Counselor Myers.
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, let's move on, guys. Okay, so next up on the agenda, Resolution 2025-19, a resolution authorizing the return of funds to the Water SDC Fund. That resolution should be in your packet. Yes, correct. 2025-19. More specifically, a resolution returning funds for a water system improvement project at the city reservoir to the Water SDC Reserve Fund.
Oh, were these the funds that were incorrectly allocated and then we're just,
That is correct. Yes. So Chuck informed us that that was not the appropriate action to take. So we need to reverse it. Do we need to read the resolution or is everybody okay just reading it? Okay. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want to ask Chuck any questions, we can do that too.
I'll make a motion that we accept resolution number 2025-19, a resolution returning funds for a water system improvement project at the city reservoir to the Water SDC Reserve Fund.
I'll second.
Okay. Any comments, questions before we vote? No? Are we ready to vote? Counselor Williams, are you ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Counselor Myers,
Yes.
Counselor Cuthbertson.
Yes.
Counselor Williams,
Yes.
Counselor Lindner.
Yes.
Counselor Ray.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Okay, all right, let's move on to resolution 2025-20, a resolution authorizing law enforcement patrol services by the Benton County Sheriff's Office. And it's actually for fiscal year 25 to 27. The agenda has got a minor typo. So it's fiscal year 25 to 27. And the sheriff is back on, so if we've got questions. We've got them.
You said there was a typo that was supposed to be to 27?
Yeah, it's on the agenda. It's supposed to be 25 to 27.
It says 27 on there.
Yeah, the actual resolution itself is fine. It's just the agenda that's incorrect.
That's what made me question. Sorry.
No, you're fine. And there is an Exhibit A attached to this resolution that has the IGA with Benton County Sheriff's Office. There will be an increase. I think we've talked about that a little bit. Like everything else, things cost more. So. And Don, we have this increase in the budget, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
I just want to make sure it's on the record. Yep.
Around the 10% mark.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Any questions for the sheriff? He's been patiently waiting for this very moment.
The dogs are happy here at this dog park, so we're good.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2025-20, a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Monroe and the Benton County Sheriff's Office for law enforcement patrol services for fiscal year 2025 to 2027.
Second.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, comments, questions?
No.
No? Okay, we're ready to vote?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. I haven't asked you yet, but okay.
I mean,
I know. I'm going to start with Counselor Ray.
Yes.
Counselor Lindner.
Yes.
Counselor Williams.
Yes.
Counselor Cuthbertson.
Yes.
Counselor Myers.
yes.
There we go. Thank
Saying
you.
Yes, I was ready.
I know. There you go, Sheriff. We're good to go.
I appreciate everybody's support, and of course, as always, if you need anything, make my phone ring.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
Have a good night. Thank you very much.
Me too. All right. My next, Mayor?
Hold on one sec. 1 second. Yes. Hold on. Let me, I know she's ready. I know she's ready. Okay, let me read it though. Okay, next on the agenda is Resolution 2025-21. This is a resolution adopting compensation for the Monroe mayor. Yes, Counselor, you may go.
All right.
Okay.
So as you heard tonight earlier, the mayor is doing a lot of things that normally a mayor would not do in the absence of a formal city administrator. And in speaking with a few people around the community and looking into what mayors and other towns of varying sizes earn, I guess, as compensation, I am making a recommendation to council tonight to provide Mayor Sheets with a stipend for the work that he is doing in the absence of the city administrator. And that amount might be reduced once we hire a city administrator. But I do think that we should keep a stipend in place because our mayor does do a lot of things. And yeah.
And it's in the resolution that once there is a city administrator hired, city council should reevaluate it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yes, 100% agree.
So that's the summary and I will let everybody read the resolution.
Yeah, I know the kind of work you have to do for this, so.
Yeah.
Um,
And if it does help, I did plan that into the budget as well.
Yep. I'm going to make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2025-21, a resolution adopting compensation for the Monroe mayor, and it's well deserved.
I'll second if I can do that
You can, of course.
as the chair for that committee. I'm not sure if I can.
Of course you can. Comments, questions?
I just want to make sure want to be very clear. I'm totally for this.
Mhm.
However, I want to make sure that did we check our charter and all the different things and ethics and whatnot to make sure that by doing this, we're not going to have mayor in trouble or any other issues by doing this.
I did not check the charter. The mayor would not be accepting funds from, I mean, if you're thinking of like the annual report that we have to sign or file online, that's a totally different thing. For example, the governor or the mayor of Corvallis earns a stipend each month.
Right. I just don't know how our charter is set up. And I just want to make sure that legally we're not getting into muddy water where we're going to have an issue later, because that would,
We can double check
that
the
would break
charter.
my heart.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I know.
I'm not saying you don't.
Do
Yeah.
you want us to amend it to say
Yeah, we-
on review of the chart?
Yeah, that's
just-
fine.
Just to make
Okay.
sure, just because I don't want anybody to get, you know, but
Thank you for thinking of it.
I completely support it. I don't want to sound like I'm not
Oh,
supporting
no,
it,
you're
but
fine.
I also want to make
You're
sure that we're
covering our
not.
bases.
Yeah.
I'll make
Thank
a motion that we adopt resolution number 2025-21, a resolution adopting compensation for the Monroe mayor pending review of the city charter.
To determine whether it's allowed.
Yeah, determine any
Mhm.
incongruencies.
That sounds good.
Thank you,
Okay, did you
Counselor.
want to go ahead and second it again?
I will
Counselor?
second.
Okay, all right, just making sure. All right, any other comments or questions? No? Okay, we ready to vote?
Mhm.
Yep. Okay. Counselor Myers,
Yes.
Counselor Cuthbertson.
Yes.
Counselor Williams.
Yes.
Counselor Lindner.
Yes.
Counselor Ray.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And just as a side note,
Mhm.
counselors in the city of Eugene get paid $800 a month. And that was 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We can't do that.
No.
But I was just saying, it's not an
I know.
uncommon thing.
No, it's not.
Oh, no, it's not. I just
But,
want to
yeah,
make sure,
you're
like I
right.
said, that we're
Yep.
legal in how we're doing it.
And
Make
every
sure
charter
we're-
is different. So who knows? Ours could say we can't do it. So we should look into it. Yeah.
Right. I
Yeah.
just want to make sure that we're not
Yeah.
getting into hot water
No, and
anywhere.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely another city in this situation who adopted the mayor as the city administrator.
Oh,
That could work.
Well, except he has a full-time job. Our
I mean,
current,
he's
our
still,
current
but
mayor.
he's still managing this.
Let me think about it.
They only had that person 15 hours.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
interesting. Yeah. I don't think we need to go there. I really don't. So,
I know it sounds scary, but it is an option. So always good to explore your options.
Mayor will lose his,
Yeah.
I would.
my
lose-
wife is already questioning my decisions. So anyway, okay. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on to resolution 2025-22. This is a resolution adjusting the pay range of Public Works Utility Worker 1. And I hand it back over to Counselor Lindner.
Yeah, thank you. So, at a recent work session, I think it was, we talked about adjusting the pay ranges for our city staff to include a COLA that went into effect January 1st. Then we also looked at some other salary adjustments. We learned that the salary range adjustments that I'd made were based on an incorrect salary range that we found in the office. And Dawn was able to find the salary range that was posted with our utility worker one's job posting when he was recruited, I think in October, Mark, do you know, September,
Correct.
October?
I think that's right.
So we've made an adjustment to the correct pay range, and that's what this is. So his pay will increase a little bit, but it is still per the steps that we had discussed in a recent meeting and had agreed to. The pay is slightly higher though. However, it is very deserved. He has a lot of relevant experience and we need him, so I highly recommend it. So that's the summary of resolution number 2025-22.
Well, and then his 6-month probationary period's
Yeah.
over tomorrow, so he will get another bump as well. So. yeah.
Yep.
I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-22, a resolution adjusting the pay range for utility worker 1.
Second.
All right, thank you. Any other comments or questions?
No, it's needed.
You ready? Okay. Counselor Myers.
Yes.
Counselor Cuthbertson.
Yes.
Counselor Williams.
Yes.
Counselor Lindner.
Yes, and thank you, Dawn, for all your help on this.
Counselor Ray.
Yes.
Great, thank you all. Okay. Next. Don't need that. Okay, I will go ahead and move on. The rest of my packet is minutes and stuff. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is on the agenda 5.5, recommendations from the Finance and Personnel Committee. And I hand it back off again to Counselor Lindner.
All right, so first thing here is interview and hire a city recorder / administrative assistant. Our recommendation is to essentially combine the city recorder function and the administrative assistant function into a full-time position that would be loosely split, 50-50 between those two roles. And I guess it wouldn't be full-time 40 hours, but it would be at least 32 hours a week to, wait, I'm looking at the wrong one, sorry. This would be full-time, 40 hours per week, and it would have a somewhat flexible schedule so that the city recorder function could be fulfilled which would include attending our meetings.
meetings,
And we need to have a city recorder attend our planning commission meetings and our city council meetings. They don't necessarily need to attend committee meetings, but we do need somebody to capture and, summarize all of our meeting minutes. So this position would also do record keeping and document maintenance, maintain meeting minutes, handle public inquiries, elections, support the accounting specialist with accepting checks and processing them, and performing general administrative clerical support. We would like to work on this position description as soon as possible and prepare to post it as soon as possible, since Gabi's last day is April 30th. And we also really need that city recorder function fulfilled. So that's my first recommendation.
You said post by the 30th?
Well, no, her last day is the 30th,
Oh,
but we
yeah.
want to move on it as soon as we can.
We're not that fast, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Do you want me to just keep cruising through these?
Yeah,
or
let's
we
do
wanna
that. And then,
deliberate?
if
Okay.
there's questions that folks can ask questions and.
Okay.
Yep.
So then my second recommendation is our second recommendation as a committee is to revise the city administrator position description and prepare to post for a 32-hour per week position. It would oversee budget, compliance, grants, emergency response, and disaster preparedness, present at planning commission meetings, and supervise city staff. It will not manage the water treatment plant, but it would supervise the utility workers. It would not do city planning or perform city recorder duties. These last three things are all things that we put on our former city administrator, and we want to separate that out. It will be benefits eligible, and we hope that it would improve our relationship, or we want to improve our relationship with the next city administrator to ensure maximum transparency. We also want to be sure that we're doing annual evaluations, ensuring pay increases are happening for our staff and that kind of thing as well. A lot of things fell to the wayside, as we know, in the last few years. So that's the second recommendation. And the third one here is if the city has some really curious salary step program that is implemented. I've never seen anything like it. I've been doing compensation for about 7 years. All of our salary steps are like the delta between each step is different. Normally it's a consistent 3% between each step. And now it's 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5 for this salary range. But then a different job description salary range has something completely else. Like,
Not
so
consistent at all. Yeah.
yeah, and so there's no consistency, and salary step programs are typical for organizations that have classified union staff. We don't currently have any classified union staff, so we have a lot more flexibility to just conduct market surveys and then break those surveys, the salary data into different quartiles, and then offering a finalist a salary that's commensurate with their experience anywhere within the range. And it also gives us more flexibility to provide larger increases if we need to, or not. We can really tie performance to pay and experience and that kind of thing, education. I think that a lot of our problems from the last 3 or 4 weeks, or at least a lot of my issues that I've had as I'm trying to put together pay ranges, is that our system, it's really weird. I gave the former city administrator a lot of market data thinking he knew what to do with it. And that's my bad for assuming that much. I don't know what he was doing with it. But I've never seen anything like it. And so I would just really like to move away from a step system as long as we don't have classified staff, because it does give us a lot more flexibility, gives staff more headroom.
So you just work with a range and then.
Yeah, you get
based
market
on merit would
minimum.
be-
Yeah,
Okay.
market minimum, market maximum.
That's the way
Somebody
I've
doesn't
seen it.
have to start at step 1. They can
Mhm.
start at step 4.
Yeah, that's
Because
what
there
I've
are no
seen.
steps.
Yeah. Or if they have more
Classified staff.
experience,
Yeah, that's
or-
where I've seen it before too,
Yep.
where it's just a range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's between you and the manager of how much. the
Where you
steps
are in that range.
Yeah. You can align them with like a market average or a 60th percentile. It's better for the employee. It's better for the city. There's a lot more flexibility. Any questions about that or concerns?
No, I think it's great. It concerned me to have so much confusion when we were going through it last time. That
Mhm.
just is really bothersome
Yeah.
and not knowing. So I
100%
think if
agree.
we can be a little more clear and concise, everybody's gonna be happier. And plus, not having the flexibility, especially with the situation we're in now and knowing we need that flexibility.
Yeah.
Great suggestion.
So that's probably what, September-ish?
Yeah, market data will be collected in September, October, and then salary ranges can be put together for January 1st.
Sounds like a plan to me. Okay.
Yeah, and you're a union guy. I'm glad you approved.
Well, ours are, we have like 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, and I know there was like a 2% one year, just, but it was something that was bargained, so
Yeah,
it's just is what it is. So,
yeah,
Of course, the 2.5 doesn't make anything up for what the last year and a half of
right.
the deficit of 10%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was telling, I was chatting with Counselor Linder, and my experience in the past is, as an example, so I was in IT at Symantec. So there was IT infrastructure specialist, there were senior IT infrastructure specialist, and there was principal.
Mhm.
And those, they all overlapped with each other, and it was a huge range. I mean, I actually went and talked to the HR lady, because she wouldn't tell me on the phone. She said, I have to show you. 'Cause if I, tell you, I'll have to kill you, kind of thing. But I mean, huge range. So it's like,
Yeah.
that gives hiring managers a lot of flexibility.
Exactly. Yeah, salary ranges that have overlapping bands,
Mhm.
it makes a lot of sense. You can have a really high performing utility worker one.
Mhm.
If Mark is here, maybe we hire somebody who's here. Maybe not, I don't know. I'm just, theoretically, it's just,
Right.
and also our current salary step system only has 6 steps in it, which is
It's limiting.
insane.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
Usually it's 10 to 15.
Right.
Instead of 15, that's all.
State sets it.
You're used to a lot more, like 20.
Try higher than that.
Really?
Yeah, and there's nowhere else to go
And
with
they
the red
just,
circle.
they're just it.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just
you're
insane.
talking
Yeah.
medical, so.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, thank you for sharing the recommendations.
I think that's all I've got.
They were good recommendations. I think you guys did a lot of good work there.
Thank you. You're lucky you didn't have to see the messy emails I kept sending to Counselor Williams and the mayor.
That's all right.
Ugly spreadsheets. I'm very sorry.
Spreadsheets, yeah, deal spreadsheets every day. So any comments, questions? I mean, they're recommendations. I think we need to actually vote on these recommendations, so.
When do we vote on them? Do we make a motion right now to vote on them or?
Absolutely.
I'll make a motion that we accept all the recommendations as presented by the Finance and Personnel Committee, 5.5.1, 5.5.2, and 5.5.3.
You did, thank you.
How enthusiastically second.
Okay. Okay, any other comments or questions? Okay,
Did we, and we know we have budget, we're good budget wise since one of these is going to be a full-time and now, and so we think we've got
Well,
that worked
and-
out.
Yep, and the city
Okay.
administrator position is only 32 hours.
Right.
So,
That's what I
yeah.
was figuring. I just wanted to make sure that that was captured.
no, absolutely. Okay, any other comments or questions? No? Okay, shall we vote? Counselor Ray.
Yes.
Counselor Lindner.
Yes.
Counselor Williams.
Yes.
Counselor Cuthbertson.
Yes.
Counselor Myers.
Yes.
Great, thank you all. All right, in the packet should be a list of property and equipment.
Last page.
Okay. Yep, right there. So long ago in a galaxy far, far away, we talked about this.
Mhm.
And it just kind of fell to the wayside. And money is an issue for the city. I think we need to start thinking about selling some things. I know this is an equipment list. I don't know that we have a property list.
Here's one right before it.
In front of it.
Okay, right in front of it. Ah, got it. I just gotta peel through the paper here, so no big deal. But I wanted to share this again because not everybody that's here was on council the first time around when we discussed this. But wanted to get your guys' thoughts on, and Mark's here too, so we can ask about equipment and property. He's familiar with both. On starting to go through. Well, and Dawn, the equipment, you did a training last week with a site that can help us with that, right?
Yes, I believe it was Gov Deals. And so I'm
Gov
actually
Deals.
set up on their website. We can post
Okay.
at any point we want to.
Okay, good. So we're set up at least with them if we want to start selling equipment.
Okay.
And then property, that's another matter, but
Mhm. The only thing that would concern me is that I know that this is old, so I think that our market values probably
they
changed.
probably have changed. Yes, I would absolutely agree.
So that would
We
be
need
the
an
only
updated, we
thing.
need updated values.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Absolutely. So,
Well, unfortunately, they could have gone either way.
I know, right? Ugh, I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, we've been talking, the Kyle Springs and the Belknap Springs for
ever.
15 years or more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
know. I know.
But this would help. I mean, if you just look at how much it is, I mean, it's just, it would be a step in the right direction. And then also before, when we talked about doing the surplus, I
Mhm.
think we did a resolution, I don't remember,
I think
and that
did
we
too.
were gonna put it into a water fund or something to be able to help with the plant and all that, because that's where we're
Mhm.
Well,
mostly in need. Is that
And we
correct?
may want to discuss that further because we also have a building, City Hall, that is in dire need of some
Mhm.
sort of repair or some
Retrofitting.
retrofitting
yeah.
of some kind.
Which I get,
Yeah,
it's really hard to prioritize
I know,
those two
I know.
because we gotta have
Totally.
water to, everybody's gotta have water to survive.
Well, I
Yep.
think that the first two properties, the Belknap, the Bell Chamber
yes.
properties could both be, to another structure because there's a structure on it, even though it's
Mm.
not all of that property.
Mhm.
And the two springs, we might want to try to focus towards our water.
Mhm.
Because that's what we're giving up is water.
Mhm.
Although has anybody here on the council other than me been up to those? springs?
We've all gone up
Yeah,
there.
we had a
did field
tour.
trip.
Yeah.
I haven't. I don't even know where these are.
Council Ray hasn't.
Yeah, I mean,
We did one about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
it would be really, really hard for us to get water out of there. I mean,
Yeah.
because of all the regulations and trying to pump it here.
Yeah, and it's,
Well, I was shocked. Kyle Springs was acquired in May of 1934.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would encourage anyone who can to go back and look at if they can
Mhm.
find the meeting minutes from the discussion about Belknap Springs, because it's kind of a contentious one. I have my thoughts on it and I'll be quiet about it.
Where's Belknap? Are we talking about Bell Chamber?
No, Belknap is the very last one on
Oh.
the surplus real property.
Where's that at, up here somewhere? or-
It's up in the hills.
it's up in the hills.
And
Oh.
it's surrounded by privately owned timber.
Okay.
land.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. There are some people that are interested in it and want to do it, and
And logging
some
it.
people have also wanted, just for it to be
Preserved.
donated, to be able to preserve it.
Yeah.
The only problem I would have with that is just that we gotta fix our problems, so we're,
Pretty big hole in the ground.
yeah, and so I mean, and we've been talking about it for a long time. At that time when people had came too, we were trying to encourage people to start looking forward to see if they could find a way to
Mhm.
purchase it.
Mhm.
And
And there was
there's
an
been
organization
time,
that
yeah,
wanted
there's an organization that was interested, so,
Well, just
um,
not to play environmentalist, but to play economics.
mhm.
I would say the timber on that's way more than $200,000.
Well, and that's where if we are going to sell it, we need to do what's in the best interest of the city.
Mhm.
And we need to just really look at that. I mean, I love being able to donate and do things, but I also know that we're in a pickle. And
Yeah,
if we don't take care of our pickle,
We
it's
have
gonna
to-
be a problem.
yeah, we have to do it for the residents of Monroe.
Yeah.
And, if somebody buys it and doesn't want to log it, that's fine. If they do want to log it, they're gonna have to follow all the regulations.
Yeah, yeah.
So the reason it's the last one in that series is because the last time this came up was council said that was a last resort property
Right.
to sell because of its historic,
Oh,
And-
because of
Mm-hmm.
historic, yeah.
because of the spring and to Counselor Cuthbertson's point, we have to do what's best for Monroe. And so there is the economic part to it, but there's also the, wouldn't it be nice if
It would-
future progeny had access to the historic spring?
And that's why it is on the bottom of the
Yeah.
list. You're correct.
It would be great, but I don't know if we have access to open it up as a park. Because is our access only for the water and do we have access to actually allow people to get in there to hike?
We do have access to it through that little
Ohio Springs and
commune,
over the other side.
the commune, I can't remember what they're called. It's,
The
Earth
Earth Rising.
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 Yeah.
yeah,
But that's private property. Do we have an
Yes.
agreement with them?
no, we do not have. an
And we
agreement
don't
with
have
them.
access.
Right. And the family that surrounds that property, very well respected, great family in the area, does have all the resources to appropriately and legally log it. There are 4 old growth trees on it, however, old growth. So the environmentalist in me, so of course, is not very happy about the prospect of that
Well, and
property
I
selling. But
think-
again, I'm trying to set that on a shelf
yeah.
and like,
I would rather see them cut the old growth and leave the third growth, which is gonna be healthier.
I thought there was an assessment done with the timber on that piece of property as
There
well.
was.
I believe there was with,
Yeah.
with.
We
two
need
of
to
them.
dig all that up.
But
Yeah.
isn't Kyle
Yeah.
Spring on the same
We'll find-
hillside? It's just kind of like on the other side a little bit.
I don't remember. I know we drove up to both of those springs on the same day as part of a
Gotcha.
field trip.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I do remember you had to go through somebody's private gate to get to it, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Did.
correct.
And there was a road all the way around it, like it was logged
Mhm.
back in the 20s, I think.
Old, yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
right. Long
It's
time
like,
ago.
wow.
Yeah.
So do we need to make a motion to start moving on any of this? Like, it sounds like the
Well,
equipment would be easier.
Yeah, I think we could, this is just my opinion, of course. We could start with equipment and then we can work on getting the updated values for the property and circle back on this.
Yeah, and then do we want to do we need to designate again, or do we remember what that resolution said before? Because
Oh, I think we're
to
gonna,
the point of if we
yeah.
need to split it to something else, do we need to?
I think we need to dig up the resolution and
Okay.
any of the, there was meeting minutes and there was, the timber report and all of that too.
I'd like to
Okay.
see these properties. I've never
Okay.
seen them.
Yeah.
I couldn't make a determination one way or the other.
Oh, no. Oh, very excited for.
Yeah, you and I haven't seen them.
I've never seen.
The mayor's
Uh,
van,
Van, and we went.
It was fun.
This time we're bringing snacks.
I don't remember seeing it, but I think I had to see it from afar. We couldn't do that.
Okay.
Well, and then there was some talk on the Bell Chamber,
Mm-hmm.
That's the haunted house one, right?
the haunted house one, right?
Okay.
Was the fact that if we did have to do sand thingies or whatever for the water, sorry, I'm so tired, you guys just go with me, but if we need to do the
Totally.
sand filters or whatever, that also gave us some extra land that was kind of close to, and if that would work, but then the highway, so we just didn't know, so that might be,
Yeah.
It also has a well on it, but.
it does have
unfortunately-
well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the well had mercury in it.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that one, I'm
Mark,
not sure
you-
if that one had the
Mark, you remember
mercury or
what-
the
It had some-
orange, the iron.
Was it
was the
mercury or
iron.
iron on that
Could
one?
be the iron.
That one's iron.
Yeah.
A lot of iron and some other stuff.
I think it was iron, but then too, if the,
Looking for well reports in the shared drive the other day and I found a few, but they're old.
but also if the legislation goes through with the well
Mhm.
taxing, that would really be difficult for the city as well,
I
so.
don't know if that's gonna happen or not.
I don't
was
know
just-
either.
I
but
just looked at the
something to
list.
keep
so
our
I don't-
eyes
I don't.
peeled about.
Senate.
And I think that there was some interest from a local nonprofit that had the means to purchase one of the Bell Chamber properties,
Mhm.
right? Like I don't know if it was
The
Stiletz
thought was
or,
like, Long Tom Watershed Council.
yeah, somebody wanted to do conservation wetland type work there.
I think it
That
was
would be
mostly
perfect
the,
for that.
the
It it really
wetland
would be,
part.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the house.
That was logged back in the 20s. There's no true old growth there. There's just second growth.
Oh, we're Bell Chamber?
Yep.
Oh,
You're talking about Bell Chamber or Belknap?
Belknap.
Belknap,
There's no
okay.
true old-
They were talking
there's
about
no
Bell
true
Chamber.
Old growth up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
True old growth is probably about as big as round from that
Mhm.
end of that where Mark's sitting to where Dan's sitting.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or a little bit smaller maybe, but.
Yeah.
I could take you into some down on the south coast.
nice. Anyone mind if I turn on the lights?
Yeah, go
That'd
ahead.
be
No,
great.
oh,
Yeah.
thank you, yes.
Why is it getting dark so early?
Because the lights aren't on.
Early?
Oh.
Let there be light.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. No,
No,
it's
it's
fine. It's
fine.
fine. I can actually read what I'm looking at now.
You know what would
I'm not
screw us
going to
over
do
is there was a marbled marrowlet or a spotted owl. up
I think we're past spotted owl. That's,
Oh
that's
my
a-
gosh.
That's a misnomer anymore. Apparently there was something else killing the spotted owl.
Totally.
Yeah.
Barred
Oh my
owls are breeding
gosh.
with spotted owls. Now there's spotted owls and fewer.
Yeah.
barred-
there. Yeah,
I think there was something killing them.
I killed a pygmy owl one time, but that was just because it flew down
I
in
think
front
it
of
was
the car I was
the
driving.
Oh, man, on tape.
So I'm looking,
I took it into the agencies.
Oh, good for you.
okay, I'm looking for a motion on the equipment. We don't have to do one on the property right now, or you could wrap it all up but you'd have to be very detailed in your motion.
Ooh.
Removed from sale inventory, is that stuff that,
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, it was determined that the city needs, these are right of ways for utilities for the city. I don't know if it's water, wastewater or what, but yeah, they were pulled because of that. They're right of ways.
Which ones?
This,
north
this,
of Kelly on 6?
so removed from sale inventory. It's on the surplus real
Oh.
property sheet
Yeah, it's kind of being used as a parking.
right
area
now, but yeah, there's.
It's
utility
right,
right there.
kind of like if you come off the Dollar General sidewalk,
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's
going
right.
straight
that one.
straight toward the gravel, it's right in that area.
Mhm.
And it cuts between the old train station. There's a,
Mhm.
I don't know if it's marble, but it's kind of like a tile floor
Yeah,
right in that area.
yeah, where the old passenger depot
I
was.
think there is
Yeah.
parts in there.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, okay.
County surveyors were there today.
Oh, were they? Really?
They had a few questions about
Hmm,
some of that stuff.
how exciting.
Yeah.
0.07 acres.
Hmm.
So what are you gonna do with 0.07 acres?
Okay.
Put a closet up.
Well, any other questions on either the equipment or the property before we do a motion of some sort?
Shucks.
You can do it.
We're gonna do the sell on the equipment, but are we holding off on the property then?
Yeah, because we need to we need to get updated
Yeah, I was
values.
gonna say,
These are out of
This
date.
is vague.
Yeah, so we'll get updated values.
Thanks, that's where I was gonna go. I was gonna say, if we can put the property off, that's fine, but if I can start getting rid of equipment that
Yeah.
we don't need
Just
sitting
get-
around, that would be great.
Trash.
That you don't have spots for anymore. And yes.
Missing building now.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of little fire agencies around the state. Probably buy some of those up.
I was gonna say, and there's probably more stuff throughout too, but
Mhm.
this is just the big stuff
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
sitting in random
Right.
spots, just taking up space.
Yeah.
But now that it's starting to dry up, people are going to be wanting stuff. So it's a good time to sell as well. So.
Yes, there you go.
I bet
Okay.
you the two
I built
pickups
this
go
list
first.
like 5
Oh,
times.
yeah, totally. Okay,
I can tell.
so,
I'll make a motion that we sell the list of surplus city equipment. Listed on, there's listed on page 1, starting with the F-350 flatbed and ending with the Ford Tiger side mower,
mhm.
excluding all the surplus real property.
Well, second.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
Do we have to do the thing where we make it surplus or did we already do that? We need to look at our paperwork, right?
So, I mean, the whole gov deals thing. So Don's taking the training, so I don't
Mhm.
know what more. We
Okay,
probably need to do a little investigating if we need to do something in between.
yeah.
before
'Cause
we throw it
We
up
had to
on
do
there.
a thing for like when we did the
Mhm.
library transfer. So I know we have
Right.
to do it with property, but I just don't know how. it
Yeah,
goes with
about the equipment, I'm not sure.
equipment. Okay,
Yeah.
so,
So-
and we may have already done that because I remember something about that before,
Mm,
but I don't know if we did or just discussed it.
if
today.
there's a-
Fire department's been using that .gov
Yeah.
clearinghouse for a long, long
Yes,
time,
or
you
equipment,
know,
need to find out.
buying equipment.
No, I think that's a great way to do it.
Okay,
I just want to make sure that we're doing it right. Don't get in trouble.
okay, so this
I haven't
was,
touched it since the 90s, so.
all right. Okay, we ready to vote?
Yep.
Yep, okay. All right. Counselor Myers.
Yes.
Counselor Cuthbertson.
Yes.
Counselor Williams.
Yes.
Counselor Lindner.
Yes.
Counselor Ray.
Yes.
Great, thank you. All right. Item on the agenda 5.7. So I have it as City Hall assessment for reinforcing rebuilding structure. So we've talked about City Hall. We know that that building had children. Anyway, we know that the building needs help. We got an opinion from a seismic engineer, I think it was last year. And they felt that the building probably needs to be torn down now because of the bricks that are used. However, we've had other conversations and maybe we need to get a second opinion from someone else on maybe reinforcing the building or something.
So I was
Go
there
ahead.
for that, and it was not a recommendation to tear the building down.
Oh,
That
okay.
was somebody's recommendation, but not his
Okay.
recommendation. He
Gotcha.
did recommend, yes, tear the building down, remodel the building, whatnot. I also did just sit in the fire department's budget meeting and
Okay.
learned that they got a pretty hefty grant to redo their building specifically for this.
Okay.
So I was gonna ask him what grant that is and if it's
Mhm.
just a fire department thing or if it's open to,
I might have seen it and it may just be a fire department one.
I'll ask and get.
Or
for
is
it.
it safety? Because we do have the sheriff's department.
Well, I mean, that we could do it,
substation
we could see
there,
about a
so,
joint
anyway.
building. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
possibility too, a joint
I'm
facility.
just
You can tie it to safety every time.
trying,
Right,
just trying.
Here.
Yeah. Let's just see.
My question is if it's the bricks used, it's the same bricks in this building.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right, and they're not tearing down or rebuilding anything. They're doing a rehab.
A
They're
retrofit.
they're retrofitting it, yeah,
Structure inside.
correct.
So there was no recommendation ever at any point from a
The-
professional to tear down the building.
The
That was an
gentleman did
option.
say you can tear it down, start from scratch. He said you can rehab the entire building. Those were the two options.
But the entire building or the east side that has the crack in it?
So the problem is, so the east side has a crack in it. The building's all the same. It's all built out of the same stuff. It's all reinforced the same.
For the terracotta brick.
So
Yeah.
it's, yeah, it's that old terracotta. So you're either reinforcing that or tearing it down and building from scratch. So it would be the whole building minus the shop in the back, which is an addition later on, which is timber built.
So there had to be a report that they would have provided us, right?
I don't know. I'm assuming that there was some
I'd
sort
just
of.
be
report.
interested to see what the
I can put that on
recommendations
the
were
list.
because
Okay.
I remember
Jeannie,
saying it had an
Counselor
engineering stamp of
Cuthbertson will see if
approval.
there's a report.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we're documented or not.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
discoverable
But
for
Chuck,
some reason.
you're still in the room, and I remember you talking about a building, I think it was in Harrisburg, that's older than our city hall, and you guys had someone come and do some reinforcement on it.
So we redid the Justice Center, the old city hall, which was started in 1934, completed in 1939. We did an upgrade to it in 2018. And made out of block. We did some upgrade at some. Did some stuff. And the one who did the assessment and helped with the plans is actually on staff. If you sign that paperwork to have a city engineer record, he's on staff.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay. Yeah, we will then. Okay.
And he would do a report saying this is.
Okay. Okay. So do we want to go ahead? And we just need the city attorney to sign that paperwork for the engineer on record.
Mhm.
Once we have that, we can go. Of course, we have to pay to have them do the assessment.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much that would be, but we can
Can-
find out.
Can we ask them?
Of course, we
Just
can ask
them first and then
them.
determine if we can.
Yeah, you're gonna,
Oh, yeah,
it's really
well,
a moot
Oh, I
point
get-
because it's gonna have to happen either way.
But
I
my
mean,
next
of course-
question is, are we gonna have to have this one re-inspected too?
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
we
Let-
just
what-
need
let's
to.
Let's
do
do one thing. at a
Yeah,
time.
let's do
one at a time right now. I'm just worried that that building is occupied, you know,
No, I get
Monday
that.
through Friday, 8 to 5. So, the public goes in that building.
Right.
We need
Staff are
we
in
need to
there.
focus on it.
No, I don't disagree
Yeah.
with that. I just
Yeah.
also know that at some point there's the the
Okay,
money bag is not
right.
unending.
Understand.
With nothing.
Right, so,
And just step one piece further, you will need a stamped plans from an engineer.
yes,
Structural engineer,
Mhm.
seismologist, to be able to get grants under an emergency
Right.
issue. You
Mhm.
have to be able, well, so-and-so told somebody that
Right.
needs to be torn down.
Right, right.
Yeah, it has
That's
to be
gonna
done to get
cut
the
it,
grants,
right.
correct.
Okay, so do we want me to ask the engineer of record, once that paperwork is signed, if they can tell us how much it would cost to have them come out and do an assessment on that building?
Yeah, because I think we need to try to move forward as quick as we can on it.
Okay,
And, I mean, we just might need to see where we can scooch money from. but-
okay.
Because if you check USGS, there's a lot of activity lately.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Well, we probably need to do some type of motion on this, so it's,
Okay, I'll make a motion that we authorize the mayor to approach the engineering of record to broach the subject of reinforcing and inspecting and reinforcing the city hall
And finding out the cost of what that.
and find out the cost is.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other comments or questions? Okay, we'll vote then. Counselor Myers.
Yes.
Counselor Cuthbertson.
Yes.
Counselor Williams.
Yes.
Counselor Lindner.
Yes.
And Counselor Ray.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. On the page. Okay, so 5.8 emergency planning and designated MCC as city hall backup. So this is just thinking ahead a little bit. So if we get the assessment on city hall, we decide to move forward and do some things with that building, we're gonna need a backup place while that building is being retrofitted. So I'm just throwing this building as being the backup. I know it's made out of the same brick and everything, but the roof line and it is different on this building.
Yeah, this one has a different roof support.
Yeah,
system.
the city hall roof
Yeah.
is not a good
It's-
situation.
Is a big issue.
Yeah.
It would be temporary and it doesn't have an active crack in the mortar.
Right, there is that,
It has a
So-
repaired
That we
crack.
can see.
right.
No,
So I'm throwing it out there. We don't have to vote on it. I just thought I'd make it a discussion point, see how you guys feel about that. I
Mhm.
mean, I know it's a little ahead.
Yeah, but you know what? We might think about, and this sounds really ridiculous when I'm over here saying save money, is could they assess both buildings? Because one might be cheaper to do than the other and
That's a valid
it
point. I
might be a
mean, Counselor
thought.
Myers
And if
kinda
they're already
actually-
coming out, maybe it would be cheaper than if we have to do one at one time and one at another time.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a good thought. I
I'm
don't know
trying to
that
get
we
a two
can.
for one.
Yeah, I don't think we can get like bulk discount,
Yeah.
unfortunately, from engineers or architects, seismologists.
Chuck.
Mr. Mayor, I can answer that. The only difference in the cost is you pay mileage.
Yeah, the
Oh.
mobilization.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be the
Say,
same.
it'll be
Okay.
two buildings.
This one
Okay.
is in that one.
Right.
If they
Okay,
travel from
thank you.
Portland, you're gonna have to
But we
pay
could save
twice.
$50 on mileage. Just- Sorry. just kidding.
One of the other things to think about, just to throw it out there on the same point, is when they do an assessment on City Hall, they will be able to give an estimated timeline of how long it will be
Hmm.
under construction.
Okay,
Oh.
So if it was only a month or two versus a year,
Mhm.
then you could decide whether.
right.
Have an idea.
Okay.
You'd have more information.
Mhm.
Right. And I guess to that point, if we knew about both,
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, it just might be something we think about.
Yep.
If it might be worth
We own
it. to-
both buildings.
I know.
Yeah.
We,
My guess is, I mean, because the buildings are similar to each other, whatever they say for that is probably similar to what we would get for, I mean, different price, but like,
Yeah,
here's
the
what would
roofs
need to be
are,
done
the
to.
roofs are different though. They,
Yeah.
the
That
roof
one
on
has like a
City
roof on a
Hall,
roof
It's
on a
the-
roof.
It's the wall to roof.
Yeah,
structure
that-
joint.
that's the biggest
that's-
issue over there.
that
Or
roof
at least
is
that's the way
really,
it's been
they
explained.
did
to
a
me. I
roof
don't
over
know.
a roof, didn't
Yeah.
they? Wasn't that what
I've
they
heard.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my
And
only
they
concern.
didn't attach it properly.
Correct. Issues. Okay, so just putting it out there.
Yeah, we
We'll
would have to
still-
worry about city staff using the kitchen and having a big party. And
They can have a party as long as they're doing their job. I don't
Just
care.
clean
as long
up.
as they invite me over.
Clean up.
Yeah.
Such a mom thing to say.
Yeah,
"Hey,
that's
can we
true.
play that?" That's funny. Okay, all right, we're
Well,
done.
We could also think about where council chambers are over there.
Mhm.
Why not remodel the whole place and make it a little bit bigger? If we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
do that.
Yeah, that's a possibility too.
Maybe SDCs could,
Well, the old library spot, is that still
Yeah.
empty? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
there's
it's
lots of
storage
different places we
basically.
can work with.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, we did have plans to remodel that entire building, basically.
Yeah.
Leave the courthouse would, upgrade floors and all that stuff. And then City Hall would basically take over the other two rooms
Mhm.
and just be expanded, break room, all that crazy fancy
Yeah.
stuff.
because that's the other thing Dawn reminded me of was there isn't actually an official break room.
Right,
There
There's a little
isn't,
book room in the back. That's all you
right,
got.
and there's not really a kitchen per se.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have got a bathroom.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Barely.
Yes, sir.
Once again, if you have your structural report.
Yes.
You sit down for your pre-design meeting, the structural report will actually talk about where structures would have to be reinforced for those rooms to happen.
Right.
And in your pre-design design meeting and say, we're looking at this, this, and this,
Mhm.
and they did bring you back design based on what.
Okay.
Cool.
That the building can handle.
Right.
Perfect.
Excellent. Okay. Very good. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to 5.9 here. So this has got recommendations to support current and future development here in Monroe. We've already talked about the engineer record, so we're on our way. I just have to have the city attorney sign the agreement to extend it so we're almost there, practically there. I mentioned earlier in the city report, I really believe that we need to look at updating, amending Monroe's land use development code.
Mhm.
It is out of date, and I'll
Mhm.
just say it that way. It is. Also, I think we need to also look at the fees, the fee schedule, the forms. I mentioned all that again in the city report earlier. I don't even know if there's actually a fee schedule for
I'll put it
planning
on my
stuff.
dig it list.
On your to get list? Okay, cool. So, and I know there's some forms, and we're looking at being an applicant for the UGB expansion. So we need to have a fee to charge the applicant
Mm,
to process that. So we don't have one, so we need to figure out what that is.
$50.
Yeah, it's
No,
gonna
no.
be
Have to be a
a
little
little more than that.
that.
A little more than that.
Just throwing something out there.
And then there's like pre-application meetings.
Mhm.
I know we were talking to the city manager over in Philomath. I can't remember what he said. Do you remember, Mark? Was it $300?
I think it was about $300.
Yeah, that they charge, but
Yeah.
the pre-app meetings, they have the engineers there, the planners there, Public Works is there. I mean, of course, the applicant and then whoever they bring is there. So we got to pay for all these people's time.
Absolutely.
So-
Because we get charged for it.
Right. So
Otherwise-
again, we need to look at, covering our costs. So.
Mhm.
So I wanted to throw all of that out there. I don't know if we need a motion or not, but with the development code, I was going to go ahead and reach back out with DLCD and Patrick. And he said that there might be a technical grant. I mentioned that earlier, and see what we need to do. And I can come back with that information and let you guys know. And then with and that's to get the development, get some help in here to help us get the code updated. With the fees and all that, I think we need to work with the planning commission and maybe start with a smaller group like the chair and maybe a couple, I don't know,
Planner. and-
maybe the planner and sit down and hammer that out and present it to the commission.
If you could come up with like a cost estimate for all the
Yeah.
people that have to be there,
Right.
would be the first
Right.
start.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We've got an audience.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
just a possible suggestion.
Yes, sir.
Seeing as I was in a discussion with Mark and a few others on what you were charging for this and that maybe each of your committees, say Public Works Committee, looks at those fees for that, because
Okay.
a lot of things that we were talking about, with putting in meter and SDCs and things like that,
Right.
that are not being charged when a developer comes in or when a new water service or somebody decides to do
Right.
upgrades to the property. What fees you don't capture from them means the rest of the citizens are paying
Right.
Yeah.
that extra for that to happen on the property. And it seemed just in our conversation, that there's several things working from that. So
Right.
Right.
while the planning is a big issue and that's the big money, it looks like your whole fee schedule is a good looking over.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you.
What's going on with the UGB? I was confused the last time.
I thought there was a swap.
Yeah, I
right?
thought there was two, and then all of a sudden there wasn't. Now I don't know what's going on.
So the swap is a no-go. So but there was some legislation that was passed, and for like a small city like Monroe, I think it's up to 50 acres can be brought into the UGB. And so the property over there, just west of Red Hills, I think it's just about maybe just a tiny bit over 50 acres.
Something, I think
It's real close.
at the planning commission meeting when Patrick was here, he said that what was over there sounded doable.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that there is a process to, it's basically making an exception, but bringing that into the city.
Anything for the, is it north of Red Hills?
It's west.
West of
It's
Red
west.
Hills.
Just right on the big corner there on Orchard, of those two properties that are for sale.
Yeah.
It would be those two properties that are for sale over there.
Anything above like 10th Street on?
Yes, so that the whole S curve there, basically that
Okay.
property that's for sale there, and then on the second curve,
Okay.
that property that runs
We need
on the
something there.
south
Okay.
side
Yep.
of Red
Or
Hills.
something on
You get hit
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and it was also the matter of like the utilities, because you don't want septic tanks above you.
No.
Mm.
And that's what it would be if it was county.
Yeah, I
that
know.
would be bad. That
So,
would be
yeah,
bad.
we can,
Yeah.
it just makes
Just
good
bring
sense.
it into the city and then
Yeah,
it's all
yeah,
on
that's
city water.
desirable
Yeah.
too, I think, for development.
Now that it would limit your development, especially on the septic tanks, because they're not allowed when they're within a certain distance of a municipal system.
Gotcha.
So then your development would be cut short because they're just gonna say no.
Right.
To the
Well, there you
city, if you're outside, you pay outside rates.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I'd hate to say it, but we probably have septic tanks inside the city.
We do.
Oh, I know we do.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
I found one when I built my house in '96.
Redone or.
We have an old one that's filled in at our house, but
Once they pay.
so, I'll go ahead if council is okay with me reaching back out to the LCD. About the technical grant, see what that's all about and come back. With the fees and all that, I think what Chuck was saying, we need to dig and see if there is
I'll
anything.
dig and see if I can
And
find any
then-
backbones.
Then
that
we
can-
need to start
move
working through
forward.
the committees and get those updated or added
Mhm.
or amended, whatever the case may be. So, okay. If we're okay, I'm gonna move on from this particular one. Go
One
ahead.
thing is,
Yes.
are we gonna affect any of the projects in Fly with these new fees?
Possibly. The UGB expansion one, definitely.
Yeah, but I'm talking about some of the other ones that I don't know where they're at as far as paying their.
Yeah, I don't
SEC,
know, to be
temp fees,
honest.
Planning commission fees, anything like that.
So I don't know quite yet. I don't think we have our arms completely around everything yet.
Right.
And Michael's been out. He's been
Well, I want to see some
unwell,
neighbors.
so- right? So,
And he's the one that, it was either he or Patrick had brought this up and said
Yeah.
that we needed to get it in line. And so I think that they're
Yeah.
gonna be trying to help us make sure that we're doing that. I think that's kind of why it's getting pushed forward so quickly so that we
Yeah.
can have it in place before they start, so they can collect the proper fees and make sure that our i's are dotted and our t's are crossed.
Because we're getting into building construction.
yes, we are.
Benton County was out surveying.
Mhm.
The
Yep.
owners had it surveyed and then Benton County came out and
Yep.
surveyed it again today.
Yeah, we're
I
a
saw
little
that
late.
marker they
We
put
need
right
to
in the
get
middle of the-
moving.
In my driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where the line is, but if you notice the other side's way on the other side.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead if we're okay, moving on to the last item of new
Five.
business. Yep, 5.10. So looking at the calendar in May, our regular city council meeting on the fourth Monday, it lands on Memorial Day. So I'm suggesting that we push it to Tuesday, which is the day after Memorial Day. So is everybody okay with that?
I thought you were gonna say the 20th, but yeah, that works.
No, that would be 27th, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I'm just trying
Everybody
to get
else?
my calendar to work.
I may have to zoom in, but I'll be there.
We'll take you any way we can. Zoom or not. Counselor Ray, Counselor Lindner, is that okay? Yeah.
At this moment, yes.
Okay. At this moment in time.
Reminder, that'll be my last city council meeting for a little while,
Right.
Yeah.
Not
just a
allowed.
little bit.
Not allowed.
She's got
Quick
a,
one.
She's got a yes.
she's got to plan her
As Tom
wedding. We
said,
got to give her
yeah.
time to do that. Or she won't come back, okay?
That guy will never come back down here again.
That's who that was.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him in a while.
All righty, old business. Dawn, did you want to talk on this one? Review and discuss utility billing due date adjustment. We talked about it last month. Didn't know if there were still questions. We talked about maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Did you want to talk about it again? We've got Dawn. She
And if there's any questions, we can start with those. But their main goal with changing the bill date is to lessen the number of counts past due with service still on. So currently we have between 30 and 50 accounts that are past due each month. I had 47 this month. And so that really adds to City Hall's load at the end of the month. So we're prepping for our council meetings. I have to have financials printed, all my APs entered, which right now Mayor Dan is approving. We have to do the meter reads, billing, past due letters that week. Then with prepping for council right now, I'm also doing packet assembly, printing checks, make sure positive pay is submitted, and payroll. It's all like within the same week or week and a half. And it's a lot on city staff when it could really easily be kind of portioned out a little bit better.
All I remember is I think most of us were for it, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the big issue is how many billing cycles that we notify people that it's going to change.
Right.
Yeah. And we have no problems. I mean, it could be 2 months, it could be 3 months. Really whatever we feel would be reasonable for a heads up. And I think that the way we're doing announcements now in the billing, and I could be wrong, you guys could let me know your input. We are doing colored sheets front to back and full pages to kind of grab people's attention a little bit better. If it's something of major importance, we're trying to add like stapling little pieces of paper that are colored kind of to the front portion of the bill. So they kind of have to look at it to look at their total due. So we're trying our best to get the announcements out and get them read. But whatever you feel would be best. And this is not an absolute need, but there is a lot of overlap with people that owe about a month and a half to 2 months of billing before they're getting their notes out for the past due. Just with the way everything falls.
So there's a lot happening at the same time, the same week at this point. This would kind of help spread things out a little bit.
We also have new meters going in right now, and that's quite the process with billing. I have to do 2 different prorated bills and then correct them online manually as well.
That was a nice notice that you put in the bills, though, about the possible shortage, water outage type of thing.
Yeah.
So I think, 2 billing cycles notice could be enough, maybe, especially if you do it with a bright orange or bright yellow paper. I don't know what anybody else thinks.
Big bold letters.
And it doesn't have to be the 15th. That's just a suggestion. I know that's what they do in Junction City. I think there's quite a few other cities that do the 15th for billing. We would still have it out in plenty of time. Most people would have at least 2 weeks with when we bill it out as to when it's due. We can also change not only the due date, but the bill date and meter read date. All of that is flexible.
Okay. Because meter read date is the 23rd right now?
Or as close as possible, yes.
Okay.
So it sounds like to me, if you start like adding a little flyer in there, letting people kind of know this is a possibility and coming, that way they can maybe throw some input out there. Get back with us, or I don't really see any issue with it, but I think last time my only concern was I didn't, but I think it was kind of cleared up a little bit about Social Security checks and when people get them, and it sounds like they get them all different times of the month. So
Yeah, so
just depending on their number. So that shouldn't be an issue then.
I think it will be an issue for people who, we don't know when everybody's getting these checks, and for people who are on
incomes.
fixed incomes,
Yeah.
it's going to
That's
be a
my concern.
readjustment of their budget.
Yeah.
And that's a significant impact for a lot of our community members.
They might end up owing a month and a half's worth
Yeah,
instead of
That's
just a month.
that's my
like,
concern.
The way, depending on where it lands.
Well, another option is we could have a public meeting and invite people to come to it and provide input, see how they feel about it.
Yeah.
And then-
Like I was saying, maybe throw some flyers in the bill and say, hey, we're
Mhm.
gonna
Yeah.
possibly doing this, we're gonna have a public meeting
And watch zero show up.
well, you give them the opportunity.
Yeah.
I know. I realize this.
We did.
I
We
know, I
tried.
know, I
We
know.
tried.
But also when this change does, if it does pass and it goes into effect, I
Mhm.
mean, city staff will be fielding a lot of inquiries about
Right.
it, and that will eat up time
Right.
as well, so.
Well, and I'm hoping if we
That have
do,
People in place.
well, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing too. Well, if we do a public meeting and we talk about it, and then we give a couple months notice,
Mhm.
hopefully by then we'll have some more people in City Hall to help out. It would be doable, I think.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely doable, but I
Yeah.
think there are some considerations to
Oh,
consider.
yeah,
and
I agree.
I think to have it open to public comment would be
Yeah.
beneficial.
That's definitely a start.
Due diligence.
Yeah, a couple of flyers in 2 months worth,
Yeah.
saying we're gonna have a city meeting, or yeah, some kind of town hall, whatever.
Right.
That does sound good.
Okay. Well, I can look at the calendar and I can see what date might work. Sometimes Saturdays work, sometimes they don't. I'm just,
Yeah.
Saturdays are kind of weird. The weather's getting nice
The weather's
now.
getting better. That's going to be a challenge. And if,
Yeah.
depending on how far we push it, if school's out, then people will be going on vacations and stuff too.
Right.
So.
Thanks to Counselor Cuthbertson, we did get the billing out today, so it would have to be next month if we're sending out any notice anyways.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Okay. All right. Yes, sir.
I hate to keep interrupting.
You're fine. Go
I've
ahead.
been involved with so many cities. I've seen a couple do this, and the one that worked the best is they adjusted by about 20 days. On
Wow.
the bill, they can start working for it.
Mhm.
And they put out notice that was doing it. And then when they switched, what they did is didn't do late fees for the next several billing cycles.
Oh.
So people would get these late, you missed the new billing date,
Mhm.
but there was no late fee.
Mhm.
But on that notice, late fees will start accumulating
Mm,
here in 3 months.
I like
and
that.
then in 2 months.
Yeah.
And next month, if it's not time, so they end up having 6 months of it, working to adjust their,
Right.
Mhm.
the.
Finances,
their income
That's
To meet the new number, and that worked real well for that city.
a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Like it.
I think it is.
Okay.
Were you able to hear that, Don?
Did hear the portion where he mentioned that there wasn't any late fees for the first several months, I think, correct?
Right.
Yeah, and that
months,
would be an
yeah.
issue. I mean, right now, I'm seeing a consistent, like I said, 30 to 50 every month that are past due, regardless. So
Right.
Yeah.
it could affect people in the short run, but if we do have some sort of public meeting and people do show and give us their opinion, they can maybe suggest even a different date. And I'm open to
Right.
that as well. I'm just
That's
trying
true.
to get it to where not everything is so compact in that 1 week.
Right.
I agree.
So if we were to change the due date to the 15th as an example, when meter read date, where would that shift to, I guess?
So that wouldn't necessarily need a shift. That's why I suggested
Okay.
that date eventually, at the
Okay.
first. But if
Okay.
Mark is willing and able to shift the read date and we feel that a different due date is sufficient, we can always go with that as well. Like we can coordinate that. Public Works and the front office staff and council can, of course, all coordinate
Right.
to see what they think would work best.
Okay. Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. Yes, sir.
I was just wondering if we have when we do the transition, we have it like a 20-day or 15-day difference from when we transition the due date. Is it going to be prorated, like the minimum, is that going to be prorated for 2 weeks worth versus?
It would be prorated. That's currently what we do for final billing anyways. So say there's 30 days in a billing cycle, but we only bill for 20 of those. It would be prorated based on the number of days in that.
So the
billing cycle.
minimum's prorated then, okay.
Yeah.
Unless they, of course, they go over the minimum usage, right?
Then it would be prorated still for the number of days it was used. Just at, of course, the gallons they use would also be prorated in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So it sounds like we need to figure out a date to have a public meeting.
Mhm.
And then we'll need to advertise it. And then see where we go from there, about the due date, the meter read date's gonna be adjusted, whatever the case may be. Get input, and see where we go from there. I think that's basically where we're at, I think. Okay, all right. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to shit. I can't even talk. I'm sorry for the language. 6.2, enunciate. All right, reader building and property update. There you go, Mark. You can follow that.
Rear building's gone. Still taped off, caution taped up. We gotta get over there with the magnet and make sure we get all the nails and stuff
Oh.
cleaned up. Here soon, we'll get out there with a couple truckloads of gravel, respread it, get it all flattened out and nice. Other than that, for now, the plan was with the previous city administrator was to get those two modular buildings and move City Hall into those. I think we've decided that's a no-go.
Correct.
Probably leasing those sounded like a horrible idea. Might be a good idea in the short run while we're updating City Hall, but not for a permanent City Hall structure. But other than that, we got a vacant lot there now. There's some stuff that's on the sale list that's stored in the back there now, but
The bus shelters on here too.
the bus shelters are not on the surplus property
Okay.
list. They could be. But
There was someone in the community that was interested in them. She just hasn't come over to look at them yet.
correct. And there was one other person interested as well, but
Yes,
I don't think
correct.
that's a go.
Meeting more.
There are a couple trees in question on the west side of the lot. The neighbor, there's a little bit of an argument on who owns them when clearly you can see where the survey marker is. The trees are on that side, but I think with the previous city administrator, him and I agreed that we would just go ahead and take those trees down. And I think we're still gonna honor that, but the gentleman who is asking about the trees has somebody that is very interested in the wood, so if everybody's okay with it, I'll just take the trees down, move them to his property with the Kubota and let his buddy take care of the rest.
Yep.
And other than that,
You're doing them a public service.
Yeah.
building's gone and
Mhm.
Did that invasive vine get removed, do you know? There was a really big Japanese kudzu vine or something that was growing.
like the
back there.
bamboo style type thing that's back there.
I don't know if it's bamboo style. It's a vine that just takes over. If there's no vine growing right now, then
I
it's probably
see
taken care
vine,
of.
but there's this
Okay.
bamboo stuff that just takes over everything back there.
Bamboo's invasive, can be.
Yep.
I don't think it's bamboo though. It's some kind of,
Mhm.
it is an invasive thing. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I'll look.
I mean,
into
if
but-
it's gone, then that's great. That's, I was just wondering. I don't know if that person wants the tree, if it has that growing throughout it, but if he's gonna cut it down and turn it into firewood anyway, maybe it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mark.
I have an update for 11:35 since
Go
John
for it.
Gredonis is not here.
Go for it.
So he sent an email update out about 10 days ago. And he said the design phase of the project is underway. Army Corps engineers have been on site over the last few months. They're collecting data on existing culverts, testing sediment levels in the riverbed, and meeting with ODOT engineers on any issues related to the Highway 99 bridge, among other activities. The Army Corps has received full funding to complete the design phase, including the cost share funds paid to the Army Corps by the Long Tom Watershed Council on behalf of Monroe. The Long Tom Watershed Council also secured state grants for a new water intake for the city and transferred the first payment of $15,000 to the city for maintenance of the new water intake system once completed. The full $50,000 maintenance fund will be transferred to the city upon completion of the project. Finally, the Long Tom Watershed Council is issuing a request for proposals to select an engineering firm to design and install the new city water intake. This work will be completed in close collaboration with the City of Monroe, city staff, and the Army Corps. The tentative timeline is for the Army Corps to complete the 30% design documents by late summer or early fall. This work will be completed in coordination with design documents for the new water intake system. Once the 30% design documents are completed, city staff, the 1135 Project Advisory Committee and the city council will have time to review, ask questions, and make modifications as needed. And then John closed by saying that he will keep everyone updated. But no 11:35 committee meeting scheduled at this time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for the update. Okay. Any questions for the counselor on that? Okay, good update. I wanted to circle back really quick. I apologize. We're going back to 5.5. So we're obviously going to have a gap between Gabi leaving and hiring someone at City Hall. How do we feel about temporary help?
Yes.
I said that I would come down. and
If
help
you're
too.
doing great, if you want to come down.
I already do. But I am no use to people.
I support temp help. You mean like through a temp agency?
Yeah, I actually have contacted a couple city managers and they don't have anybody they can spare, which is fine. I just thought I'd ask. So.
I support it.
Yeah,
We need it.
Time
Yeah,
we're
it's
getting to
a
a point where we don't
Okay.
have choice.
Okay. all right. So we'll look into that.
I mean, her salary's already budgeted, so it should be able to
Mm-hmm,
kind of
right.
transfer that.
Yep. All right. Okay, sorry. Quick distraction. Back to it here.
Something else in the packet that I didn't see on the schedule.
I don't know why that's in the packet.
Okay.
Was it the TNT thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
I don't know. So Don, we have an interesting item in the packet. Didn't know why it was in there. But it's regarding the TNT ball field. Didn't know if that was an accident or if there was something that we needed to sign again on that.
I didn't see a number on it, so I didn't.
Yeah, there's no
It's just an
number, but-
accident.
Wherever it went.
Before we close up.
I guess we lost her.
Looks like somebody else has a hand up there.
Oh, okay, I don't know who that is.
Let go with the last one.
Okay, that's where I'm going with it.
That's what I think, because we had talked about it and
Mhm.
doing the updates, so it might just be in there to show us that the
Well,
updates
it's
were
just the
done and stuff.
agreement That has to be signed. Yeah, true. Yeah, we talked about the liability and all that stuff.
Oh.
It's all in here.
Maybe it wasn't, it was just the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, good. It was just us.
Okay, we're good.
Sorry.
All good. All right. All right, I'm going to assume it's just a leftover and we'll move on.
Sorry, just had a question.
Nope, that's okay. Moving on to section 7 here. City events. So there is the Blackberry Jam. It's in August. Don't have an exact date. Torin will let me know. So-
What is the Blackberry Jam?
They have it over at the food pantry and it's music and it's jam.
Yeah, okay. It's like
And they jam to it.
Food drive. You bring canned food also in exchange for
Oh,
like barbecue and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Yep. So Torin has approached me and he asked about if I would do a proclamation, which I'm totally fine with that. And then he's designing banners to go along the highway.
Nice.
So I'll get him connected with the telephone company so that I can see about hanging those. Also, the sheriff kind of alluded to this earlier. So the Monroe Oktoberfest and the First Responders Appreciation Day, they're going to be on the same day. We're having some issues coordinating between the fire department, police department, you know, everything, which is, I totally understand. The sheriff's a popular guy. They want him all over the place. So we landed on having it on the same day because we're gonna have people in town anyway. We're gonna have kids here anyway. So why not? It'll be over at the fire station. The fire chiefs approved it, so that's what we're doing.
Fun.
So beyond that, down to other business, we've got the proposed supplemental budget public hearing on May 12th. Economic Development on May 15th. Our next finance and personnel meetings, May 14th. It sounds like we're gonna have a Public Works meeting here soon. The Library Negotiations Ad Hoc Committee, that will dissolve on June 30th. Our next work session will be after the budget public hearing on May 12th. And the next planning commission meeting is on May 6th. The planning commission meetings, FYI, they've moved from Monday, the first Monday of the month to the first Tuesday to accommodate our city planner who comes in on Tuesdays. And then we just have him stay for the meeting at night. So beyond that, was there any counselor comments?
I want to say thank you to our staff for working extra and doing so much to keep this town afloat. Thank you. And thank you, Chuck Schultz, for helping us so much as well.
I second that. Thank you. It's greatly appreciated.
Any other counselors? No, I don't have any comments. I've talked
Only
enough.
comment I have
Yeah.
is,
Yes,
who all do we have on economic development anymore?
that'd be you and me and Stan Salat and Nick Rich. And I think Eliza Mason is on there and Todd Neestrom. And I'm pretty sure I'm missing one or two other people.
Yeah, because we've canceled out the last couple.
I know, because I found a bunch of documentation and I can't seem to get everybody back on track to meet again. Availability has been an interesting issue.
Okay.
So we'll try to wrangle everybody into something here and meet. Any other comments? Nothing more? Okay. Another successful meeting. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
We got done half an hour earlier and I thought, hey. The longest I was in went to like